You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning Tonight. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you are all doing and living well. Let me start the show off by thanking all those awesome people out there in the winner circle who support the channel on a monthly basis. Thank you so much for making it happen and being part of the solution. And I also like to thank Shelly and Wolfram for supporting us over on Rumble. We are broadcasting live tonight, of course, on Rumble X and YouTube. And away we go. Tonight on Winning Tonight, we were going to stick with the theme that, yes, we are in the process of winning our reality back from the corrupt establishment, though we still have a lot of work to do on the back end and for the generational fix and so on. But these first steps are very exciting and so much is happening. It's harder. It's like, for 4 years we sat around and just were watching things fall apart day after day after day after day, praying and praying that it wouldn't completely collapse, that we would make it to the time where we'd have another shot at getting it right and fixing things, at least staying off the worst that is, trying to take over. And we're right there. And boy, we come in as this team come in and really made a difference already. We're going to be going over some of those difference makers tonight, as well as taking a look at the latest White House press conference and a very succinct way. I have it like kind of, I got a nice version of it that's kind of cuts it in half time wise. So that's really good. Kind of just gets to the point and goes. So we'll go with that one tonight and we'll see how it does. We are also going to take a look at some of the goings on with the USAID, some more findings today. We're going to hear from some of our esteemed colleagues up on the Hill that had some important things to say there about this, as the corrupt establishment is in panic mode. They are trying every dirty trick in the book. They're trying to straw man out on Elon Musk instead of focusing on the fact that their money laundering schemes and their dirty dealings are being aired, and boy, are they scared. We'll also take a look at what are some of the new cabinet members up to already that have been sworn in, like Pam Bondi. We'll take a look at this really weird wacko dude who's trying to start an impeachment, and how well that's going for him. Again, we're seeing differences all over the board in terms of 2016 to now, and that's really nice to see. We're also going to take a look at a massive scandal in South Africa. In case you haven't heard about that, that's probably one that you haven't heard about. But boy, when I show you this, you're going to be like, whoa. That'll be later in the show. We're gonna circle back on the Gaza. Well, circle back. We're gonna address the Gaza situation and any concerns that may be out there. And we are going to also take a look at have a really great analyst take on the airline calamity that happened, the DC plane, the Black Hawk crash. We want to check in, let that one cook for a minute. And now we're going to check in with Jeff Alstroff. You can remember him from the July 13th analysis, excellent root cause analyst. I can't say enough about the fine work that Jeff does. So I definitely want to hear his opinion on it. I haven't watched this one yet, so it'll be a first take together. And what else we got here lined up? I think I pretty much covered it. But boy, we're gonna have a spicy show tonight, and some of it, especially later in the show, we're gonna have some real spice going on and some of these takes we got tonight. But let me get out here and say thank you and greet all these awesome people in the front row. And say hello to Heidi. Heidi, how you doing? Thanks for putting these over there on Rumble. And there we go. It is Wolfram. Wolfram, how you doing, my friend? Remember, you guys, when you're here to listen to the wolf, he knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, he lopes in, and he howls. And that's how you know the alpha mod is in the house. All right. Who else we got out here? We got I saw you here. Let me see here. We got Roscoe. Roscoe, good evening, Roscoe. How you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out so much, Roscoe. You're awesome. Happy to have you here. And Arby as well. Thank you for hanging out so much, Arby. It's great to have you guys in the crowd, man. And Arby, did you switched up? Had to switch to your correct account. Hey man, I like them both. I like them both. Actually, the other one is awesome because that one's a member. There you go. And there's Scott Hopvick. Scott Hopvick, thank you so much for hanging out with us too. All these new faces in the crowd that are becoming familiar faces, and I'm so happy to have you guys be here with us, be part of the solution, along with the rest of my awesome legacy crowd that's in the house, like Shelly talking trash and truth, my number one original. She is our hostess with the mostest. She's greeting everybody with big old hugs as they walk in the door and doing all the good work on the back end there. My solution architect is here with us. And let's see, we got Jacob Peach. Oh, Jacob Peach, hang loose, buddy, or call me. Depends. I use this for hang loose, but call me hang loose. Good to see you, Jacob Peach. How you doing, buddy? Always glad to have Jacob Pete's in the house. And I hope you're ready for some fun tonight, Jacob, because it's also always great to see you. Oh, look at this. We got something exciting to do right here, right now. RB has become a member. Welcome, RB. This is so you got both your accounts have memberships. Is that right? Are you just switching from one to the other? How does that work? Well, I appreciate it. If you got two accounts that you're have memberships with, man, that's double the awesomeness. And since I'm too slow to remember to cancel memberships, I'll probably stay a member. Well, I won't complain. I'll tell you that, especially not right now. But thank you so much. I'll have to make sure I put you on the list twice. So there you go. I'll make this one right here. I'll make sure that you go on twice, man. I'll make sure that you're there twice. You're already on there once, right? You should be on there once. Are you not? I'm fixing that right now. I'm fixing it right now. And wow. I don't know when your other one went on there, but I'm sorry it hasn't been on there before now. RB1 and RB2. There you go. How about that? RB2. Like a barbecue. All right. See, there you go. Let's roll it again. And look at all those awesome people that take care of this channel so well. Thank you guys so much. I got to make sure some of these people I haven't seen in a minute, like Tom and Christy, but there's Cynthia. But I think they're still members though. Miles was here last night. So I have to check to make sure, see if I got his email yet. There you go. RB1 and RB2. You're in the house, yo. You're in the house. And I try to keep that updated as much as I possibly can. All right. Back to the scroll. I see Libby. In the house. Let's see, where's Libby's intro? There he is. There's Libby. And I see Jacob Castro over on Rumble. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? And welcome, guys. Thank you guys for being here. I see a Daisy Girl Williams dancing in sideways. There she is. Daisy Girl Williams is in the house. And I see Ozawi 13. Ozawi 13, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you over there on the Rumble side. Thank you guys so much for being here. Rumble's rocking tonight already. Remember, Rumble, we're counting on you. We're counting on Rumble. The thumbs up mean everything because that's the way we get out in the algorithm. So if you're ever on Rumble and you like to support free speech platforms and new platforms, alternative platforms, one way to do that, and a great way to do that, is to one, make sure you're following the channel, and two, make sure that you're hitting the thumbs up, because those are the things that matter over there on Rumble. And of course, you want to make sure you're here for all the shows. I do 5 base shows a week at least, sometimes more, very, very rarely less, but just depends on what's going on the weekends, because I do have a couple weekend shows I do. But yeah, during the week, we're rocking and rolling. We got Unrigged the Game on Monday night. We got Winning Tonight on Tuesdays and Thursdays, sometimes Fridays, and we got Unveiling Reality on Wednesday night. So all those shows are right here for you every night. And I enjoy seeing each and every one of you at those shows. We have a great time. So, oh yeah, nice. Ozawi was gifted a membership by Shelly Talking Trash and Truths. Awesome. Great, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. And those don't show up as like over here, and those are gifted memberships, but I will play this for you, just for you, Ozawi.
It's cold. A big warm Vietnam. It has to do. I can't imagine a more beautiful thing. It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Gonna try to get out of anything.
Hey, that works. All right, that works. There we go. I'll make sure I do that for our Rumble memberships as we're building up that side as well. And, you know, you guys can always join up over there as well if you want to help support the channel. I appreciate it. And that little bit does help a lot. It does help a lot. All right, where are we going with this tonight? I think the way I wanted to start this evening was by going and seeing our awesome new press secretary. And we'll do this. I think it'll work on winning speed. We'll see. If not, I'll slow it down. Let me get it all set up here for you. Right there. Let's turn this up here, about there. All right. Let's get the latest. She's wearing a stunning black outfit tonight. Let me pull this up. Yeah. There we go. And in this, the title of this one, nice little title there. Yes. He caught that, Levy. Soft eyes. You know, I'm the one who did the Soft Eyes video. Like, I found the song Soft Eyes and I made a video. Have you seen Soft Eyes, Levy? Have you seen it? Do we have to do a Soft Eyes real quick? I mean, it's maybe just a little bit of it. Where is it? And then when this is back in the heyday of the LawTube, by the way, back when I guess they were still friends, and all of them. Well, I don't know. I guess they're still friends. I don't know if they're still friends or not, but when they used to hang out a lot, Drex and Rackets, and that's when Bear and Balance was still around too. And dude, even though it's under my name, this video went around. It got some pretty decent views. And even though it's under my name, and it says right there who made it, it got like 313. Not bad. Only one dislike. This is people and their dislikes are so funny. Remember, thumbs up that means you're based. Thumbs down means you're not based. But either way, it's interaction. I really do appreciate it. But I made this awesome video. I went through the whole thing. I'll show it just because Levy called it out. I got to do it. If Levy called it out, I got to do it. And you'll go be back in a second there. Hang on. All right. So I made this video. It's only 2 minutes, so we'll be fine. And Drex got on there. It went around a little bit, right? And then he saw it, and then he thought Farron and Nick made it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I think it says right there, winning reality on the damn video. So anyways, here it is. Soft Eyes. It's out of my Drex Life collection. And if you like Drex, you know, I did a few parody videos called Drex Life. It was a short series, but it was a good series. Here we go.
Soft eyes, speak to me with your soft eyes. Tell me I am the only boy, the boy heaven meant for your heart. To embrace me, that you'll never replace. place the boy close in your arms. Promise me you'll kiss no other lips.
It's cold. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Gonna find it without of anything in it.
Oh, soft eyes, speak to me with your soft eyes. Tell me I am the only boy, and whisper your love.
Or Coast to Continent album. I think they're undisputed masterpieces. Hip to be square. Hip to be square. Hey.
Memento. There you have it. Wait. Oh, dang. I forgot about all that ending stuff, but you can go look at it if you want to. It's out there. Drex Life, Soft Eyes. It's a classic, as Viva Fry would say, an instant classic. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that little sidetrack. It was well worth it, I think. Okay, let me get this right here. And we'll get right into the hard-hitting news. Yeah. But first, I got to say hello to Memento Mori. What's up? How you doing, Memento? Good to see you. And let me say, Jacob Pete says at winning with Fetterman breaking from the Dems and on the Bondi vote, do you think he will continue to caucus with Republicans throughout the 119th Congress, or do you believe this is this to be a Tim Olive brunch? You know, he seems to be a real maverick in the Democratic Party right now. And maybe that that little brain thing did him right. Maybe that knocked out all the Marxist programming, and he's coming back around. He seems pretty okay right now. And let's just hope that it is. Let's hope that it's not just a temporary thing. That he continues to let his base side show, man. And if he does, then I guess eventually maybe he'll be coming around. I don't know what his key disagreements are with the platform of non-corruption and America First. I know that he wasn't necessarily a big hit on The View when he went there. Well, not for the View viewers, the View people, the View mind control victims, but he did say some pretty level-headed things, man. So okay, I'm down. I have to say I'll get back to you on that one, Jacob. I have to say I'll get back to you on that one. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's a big pain in the ass, Levy. It's a big pain in the ass. Let me tell you that. I don't make that much anymore, and then I end up copyright claims coming out of the blue on shit, and it's like it's a big pain in the ass refacing and then piecing it together. I did see there's some new stuff out there that I probably could check out maybe, but the problem with this is that I made a whole series called LawTube is Getting Weird back in the day when it was cool and all, before it all fell apart predictably. But so much of that stuff was very cool, like refacing videos that I did, and the YouTube content ID system is too stupid to realize that it's refaced and it's new and it's transformed in every mark of the word, transformed, except for like in a lot of cases the music, but the video and the music go together. So if that's what I'm using the music for, I don't know. They're real cucks about it, but it's not. Oops, I said the word. I mean ducks. They're really ducks about that, like a duck, a quack quack. And I'm trying not to get a yellow mark. They just won't upgrade their system. Like for instance, like the one I played for you last night, like that one was fine the first time I played it, and the first time I played it again and again. I don't know why, but for some reason that one got hit with a copyright. And I was just like, you know, and then I tried to appeal it, and right away, and it was like some Chinese name too. It's just Chinese characters. I can't even read it. Right. So I'm like, so people abuse it. They put it out, and then they try to get you like to use it too, or if you use it too, they'll claim it even though it's not theirs. Like, I don't know. It was just really strange, but it's just some weird things that happen with it. So it's fun and all, but it's a pain in the ass. That's all I can tell you. All right. Be sure to let me know what you think in the chat, in the comments. What did you not see that one? The soft eyes one? Yeah, that's a classic. I that was a classic. Let's see. Daisy thinks Fetterman's acting Republican so he can run for president. Yeah, he didn't have. I don't think that he has enough class to run. Can I say class to run for president? You know, showing up in a hoodie and shorts. That's all well and good, but it's gimmicky. You know, I mean, it doesn't project like competence or power or leadership, in my opinion. You know, you look how sharp Trump looks, JD Vance looks, Vivek looks. You know, they look sharp, man. They're out there. They mean business, and they show it, and they project strength, and that's what we need is in a leadership role. But he's like a good thug, he can like goon that can stand behind you, and you know, he's a good goon kind of type guy. But hey man, just if he values the truth over anything else, he'll be on our side before you know it. That's usually the path that one takes to get here, right? You have to start having. It starts with self-respect. You know, it really just starts with self-respect. So for those of us that have it, we are here and we are all together. And by the way, I don't say it enough, but you guys are the most based crowd out there, and you are the most informed, most based crowd out there. Those, especially those that are always here. And we will continue this journey together. So let me go ahead and pull this up here for my rewatchers. And if you're rewatching this in near 22 minutes, and before I even started the first bit for the night, or the first clip for the night, or the first segment for the night, let me say it that way. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the show, and I hope you come join us live here sometimes. We'd love to meet you, and I appreciate the thumbs up and maybe even a share. Kamala thinks she's running the next election. Yeah, she's running out the door in last place. I don't think Kamala could ever run again for anything, but we'll see. Shitagram, what's up? How you doing? You're already going. Tell him anyways. Just got here, so I'm on the first clip. Wait, I did the timing all wrong. I was just telling nephew to join us today. Well, I'm looking forward to meeting nephew. I am in subscriber only mode. That keeps the bots away. Keeps the trolls away. We are, we're serious business here. So, we want serious people to hang out and be part of this awesome thing. This is the advanced class. So, no bots allowed. No, and nobody here just wants to come here and, think they're doing something they can't possibly get away with. So, all right. Here we go. Let's get into this. Gotcha. RFK speaking was never the problem with him becoming president. It was about the hatred the Democrats had for RFK. Yeah, sure. Sure. And he'll come around too, but man, I'm looking forward to him getting in there and doing the good work. We've needed a guy like him for a long time. And like I said, man, as long as if you're awake, aware, and resisting, you're part of the anti-establishment. Doesn't matter what party you used to be part of, or how many things you fell for in the past, or that stuff doesn't matter. It matters. What it matters is your path to the truth, reality-based truth, your path to get to on the good side of things, right? And your path to resist evil. That's what matters. And all of us here at one point or another may have made that journey. I mean, some faster than others, and some may have always been, at least on the right, on the maybe what they weren't Democrats, or they weren't. I've always been an independent, but they may have been somewhere in the middle there. But they eventually figure out the true paradigm out there is establishment versus anti-establishment. That's the real paradigm that's going on, because the establishment is corrupt, and we resist that. We resist that in every single way, and we stand for the opposite of them. So we're the anti to the corrupt establishment. See, that's how I explain it. But here's a better explanation, I think.
You have people that are now realizing that, listen, this is not a left versus right thing anymore. Okay, this is not a Democrat versus Republican thing anymore. This is establishment versus anti-establishment.
And the key truth is this: Kamala Harris is the establishment. Kamala Harris is the ultimate DC insider. Kamala Harris is the swamp.
There is no one they have targeted more than President Donald J. Trump. And there's a reason for that. Because they recognize that he doesn't bend the knee or kiss the ring in the establishment of Washington, D.C.
There you have it. See, I think that the probably I need to redo that one a little bit, but I think right now I try to collect those if I can ever find those anywhere. Where people are talking about the true paradigm. You have the political party paradigm, you have the government paradigm. Hey, Bosch, what's up? How you doing? That's if Doge found millions going to Gamergate journalists, I knew they were fraudulent. All right. Good breaking news there from Bosch McFadden. Cool, man. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here. Very cool. Very cool. That's good news. That's good news. All right, cool. Let me see. So where was I? I was saying Boosh. Gotcha. What was I saying there? I got thrown off by the breaking news. But yeah, there you go. So we'll move on. Sometimes I forget. Okay. So press conference today, lots of good stuff coming up. And like I said, there's left, right. And people like usually are born into believing so much talk about left and right. And it's like, so most people don't understand the paradigm, so they just associate them with the party, right? Truthfully, though, the government left right is how much government you're willing to tolerate, right? So far left would be total, and far right would be zero. And so a paleoconservative constitutionalist would be like a little off the a little right of center, right? Constitutional government, constitutionally mandated government, Ron Paul-ish people would be about right there, right? And so that's one paradigm. Then you have the political paradigm, political party paradigm of left and right, and that's what usually most people will say: left and right, left, right. You have people in government saying it all the time, right? And we were born into the false left-right paradigm. So that's when we run the assumption that the Republicans were actually real opposition to the Democrats, when in fact they were working behind the scenes together and collaborating, because we had these people called the neoconservatives, which I believe we're gonna cover a little bit tonight, and they're the rhinos, right? So they were always running as the heels, right? They're the ones who gave the Republicans the bad reputation for being the party of the rich, the ones who don't care, and they were there to play the heels, just like in a WWE match, the bad guys, right? But in truth, behind the scenes, they were exchanging the seats of power, keeping each other's agendas and policies going, even though they would run against them. And it was the illusion of choice. That was the days of the false left-right paradigm. Of course, Ron Paul revolution called that out first, and then the MAGA movement and Trump proved it all beyond a shadow of a doubt when he kicked down the door of the GOP, took it over, and brought in the base MAGA movement. And in that, you saw all the rhinos and neocons go running back to the left, running to the establishment, what was left of it at that point. And then teaming up with them, and then coming out against Trump, and being part of all the slander and all the disinformation and all the witch hunts and everything like that. So, as I think we quoted the other night, it was like Bill Kristol, son of the founder of the neoconservative movement, still now the leader of the neoconservative movement, still for a very long time now, along with Cheney, Rumsfeld, Bushes, and others. That the deep state is more preferable to the Trump state. That's what he said. So just to let you know where they stand. Of course, I made the prediction back when Ron Paul was running, should he get the nomination and actually go in and get control of the GOP, the party, you'd see the rhinos and their donors and all of them, the neocons, go running to the left faster than you can never believe. And that's exactly what happened when Trump got in. So false left-right paradigm. But then you also have, and I'll explain this real quick and then we'll get on to it. I promise you. I'm teasing you with this video right here, aren't I? Doesn't she look nice? But there's also another paradigm that most people don't recognize and understand. And that is the Marxist left-right paradigm. And that's underneath everything I just talked about. That's the underlying thing that kind of, it's almost invisible to a lot of people. A lot of people don't see it or haven't heard about it yet, or probably won't even try to recognize it if they're really first veilers, kind of establishment narrative, knee benders. And that narrative, as you can see, free Palestine type socialist types on the far left, and the Patriot Front kind of Yahtzee kind of whites on the right. Right. And neither one of these people really support the government as it is. And so when people talk about, Hitler and it's people like that, right, that he would be on the Marxist right, versus the Marxist left, where you got Lenin. So you got that's the Marxist paradigm. And so what happens is a lot of times those groups get lumped in with the political party left and right, even though most of the time those people aren't voting for anybody in the race, right? They're just stepping out. They're there to really just bring down capitalism as a whole in one way or another, and for their own agendas, their own ideological reasons. But it's all based on Marxism. Those are those guys, like the Patriot Front guys, just tan pants, mask wearing people that show up and just the Proud Boys kick their ass, that they kick Antifa's ass. They're anti-Trump, but people will tell they'll associate us with them. And when they're talking about alt-right, far-right, alt-right, stuff like that, the very fine people hoax, all that was about them, right? So a lot of times a lot of people haven't come up to the level of sophistication yet to realize that there's this underlying tone of Marxism in our country, and that they have their own paradigm as well going on, right? Like you never see Patriot Front and Free Palestine people marching together, yet they still are both beholden to the subversion of Marxism. Cultural Marxism. So that's a quick explainer about that. But anyways, I don't know how I got on that topic, but I love talking about it. So anyways, let's jump on into it. They use right wing like a slur, right? And that's those people enable it. And I think that the people who use it as a slur know what they're doing some of the time. Like I guess at the higher level up you go, the more they know that. Like, you got Nancy Pelosi types and Chuck Schumer types or whatever. The Barack Obama types, establishment types that are out there that will use that as a way to muddy the waters, as a way to manipulate people, subvert people's archetype of the right and what the right means. But there's really the traditional meaning is how much government are you willing to tolerate, and then there's the political party left and right, which creates its own. Again, we talked about the false left-right paradigm. Now we're in a true party paradigm, because we have true opposition to one party to the other. There's no collabs going on here behind the scenes, and then you have the Marxist one underneath that often, and we'll do the same thing. We'll mix in those free Palestine people, the socialists, the queer Marxists. We'll mix those guys in with the Democrats, even though they don't vote Democrat. But and they'll protest Democrats as easy as they'll protest anything else. They're really just anti-capitalist people. They're really just trying to maximize recruitment and optics off of the oppressor dynamic, right? So they'll create this that Marxism espouses to, right? So they'll create the oppressor thing, whether it's the Palestine people, which I guess they're going to be giving up really soon. They're going to be moving on to the illegal alien invaders that are here that are being removed. So they're going to see them kind of shift, I believe. And they'll keep doing that. They'll always jump into a cause on the side of the quote unquote oppressed. And really what they're saying is, they're anti-capitalists. They're just saying it's always the capitalists that are the oppressors. And that's what they're trying to bring down. So little quick education on that stuff tonight, a little deeper dive into the paradigms that exist around us. But the highest level, it really is just the establishment versus the rest of us. And if you're awake, aware, and resisting, you are part of the anti-establishment, and you are in the right place. So welcome, and here we go. All right. Caroline, sweet Caroline, take it away.
Peter. Thank you, Caroline. Are any officials here preparing to fight Democratic lawmakers in the streets?
Absolutely not.
So
thanks for the question.
Some elected Democrats are so steamed about Doge. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver says we are at war. Mm-hmm. Ilhan Omar says we might actually see somebody get killed. And Chris Van Hollen says we have to fight this in the Congress. We have to fight this in the streets. So what now?
And may I just point out, If you heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders. And frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about, because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts of this federal government and ensure it's accountable to American taxpayers. That's all that is happening here. And for Democrat officials to incite violence and encourage Americans to take to the streets is incredibly alarming, and they should be held accountable for that rhetoric.
It sounds like something that they're most concerned about is Doge engineers with access to Treasury systems. Can you clarify? Do the Doge engineers have read-only access in these systems? So they are not allowed to write new code? They're not. Okay. No. And then one more thing. NBC is reporting that some of the illegal immigrants that we've seen rounded up and arrested are not being deported. They're being released with ankle or wrist monitoring devices, or they have to check in on the phone. So is the administration arresting more people than you have room for?
I have seen the reports, and I'm glad you brought it up because we want to address it. There have been a total of 461 illegal aliens. This is of this morning when I got this information from DHS that have been released from custody. Of the more than 8,000 that have been arrested since President Trump was inaugurated, it's less than 6%. And there are reasons for their release. Some of the factors include a lack of significant likelihood of removal in the foreseeable future, lack of detention availability, which is something this president and this administration has been incredibly vocal about. We are doing everything we can to deport and detain illegal immigrants, but we need Congress's help to increase funding for Border Patrol and for ICE to increase detention capability in our facilities. And then other serious medical conditions have also been the reasons for some of the release of these individuals. But none of them have final deportation orders. Many of them are probably contesting their immigration status. I'd refer you to DHS for more details, but I did get that information because I knew it'd be a question. So thank you. Sure. Yes.
The president and you here again today have made clear, given the devastation, you think Palestinians have no choice but to leave Gaza and go elsewhere. But Palestinians say this is their home. They don't want to go. The president last night said he's willing to use the military if necessary. Is the U.S. prepared to remove Palestinians from Gaza by force?
See, this is, again, she inserted an assumption there as it was fact. So you kind of know where this lady stands, right?
The president is prepared to rebuild Gaza for Palestinians and all people in the region, peace-loving people who want real economic development and opportunity in the region. This is a region that has been controlled by Iranian-backed terrorists, Hamas, who have brutalized not just Israelis, but Palestinians too. It is because of Hamas that you see those images on that screen, that Gaza has become a demolition site, because Hamas launched that brutal attack on Israel on October the 7th. And so again, I would stress, President Trump wants to ensure that this can be a place where all people can live in peace. He is a peacemaker in chief. He made that very clear in his first.
Where's T-Rex? T-Rex, you here? He brought this up last night. He wanted to talk about it. And gosh darn it, there's a part coming up here I'll need him to see. We're going to clip it for him if not.
First term. And as for how that will be accomplished, the president and his team are talking with our allies in the region to consider next steps.
But should the American people be prepared to see U.S. military on the ground fighting a ground war against Hamas?
Again, the president has not committed to U.S. troops in the region.
But it is an option.
I have said that the president has not committed to that yet. Garrett, great to see you here today.
Thank you. On Gaza, the president has spent basically his entire public career criticizing foreign entanglements, nation building, sending American troops to fight abroad.
All right, yeah. This is the part I wanted to clip for T-Rex. Was about 420. All right.
In the Middle East, this plan seems like it could ultimately involve all of those things. Can you explain this reversal and how building and owning Gaza squares with America First foreign policy?
I would reject the premise of your question that this forces the United States to be entangled in conflicts abroad. The president has not committed to putting boots on the ground in Gaza. He has also said that the United States is not going to pay for the rebuilding of Gaza. His administration is going to work with our partners in the region to reconstruct this region. And let me just take a step back here, because this is an out-of-the-box idea. That's who President Trump is. That's why the American people elected him. And his goal is lasting peace in the Middle East for all people in the region. And as I said in my opening remarks, we've had the same people pushing the same solutions to this problem for decades. And it's been made very clear to the president that the United States needs to be involved in this rebuilding effort to ensure stability in the region for all people. But that does not mean boots on the ground in Gaza. It does not mean American taxpayers will be funding this effort. It means Donald Trump, who is the best deal maker on the planet, is going to strike a deal with our partners in the region.
He did not rule out American troops in Gaza last night. Are you doing that now?
I am saying that the president has not committed to that just yet. He has not made that commitment, and you know that.
And on the foreign partners, the Jordanians, the Egyptians, the Saudis have already panned this plan. What foreign partners, if any, have expressed any interest in being part of it?
Well, the president has said he's been socialing this idea for quite some time. He's been thinking about this. He said in his remarks last night, this was not a decision or an announcement that he takes lightly. And the president has already spoken to the President al-Sisi. In fact, that was his first foreign leader call. He's meeting with the King of Jordan, King Abdullah, next week. He spoke with the King of Bahrain. He spoke with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and he has made it very clear. He's been very vocal that he expects our partners in the region, particularly Egypt and Jordan, to accept Palestinian refugees temporarily so that we can rebuild their home. I'd like to show you some images of Gaza that were taken.
Yeah, just,
Fox News aired this. I mean, that is, as they put it, an apocalyptic scene in Gaza. This is an uninhabitable place for human beings. Do you really think that families can live their dream in a region that looks like this, with no running water, no electricity? And the special envoy to the president, Steve Witkoff, recently traveled to Gaza, as you all know, and he came back with images that he showed the president of the dire situation here. And the president made this decision with a humanitarian heart for all people in the region. Dasha.
Caroline, you said the president has been working on this idea for a while behind the scenes now. Is there a written plan based on the president's proposal for Gaza? And if so, when was it drafted and who had a hand in that?
The plan was written in the president's remarks last night as he revealed it to the world and to the American people, and his team are continuing to be engaged on this effort. I saw the National Security Advisor this morning.
Hold on, is it lagging? I'm seeing some lag bars up top. Is it lagging? Let me give it a second here. We'll talk about that so far. Yeah, so I think it's clearing up a lot of questions about how involved we're going to get, and what it could be. I mean, does it make sense? I mean, people can stay there if they want to. Construction sounds you don't get much sleep when the construction's going early in the morning. I don't think that we're going to force people to leave, but they might say, hey, look, just stay out of this area while we build this building real quick or something. What would be awesome though, and let me just sidetrack for a second. Elon and Tesla and they're going to say, look at, he's making money off this. No. But he's making these portable homes. I guess he wants to make it more, make it better, like than just that. But they do have these portable homes that could go up really fast. They could bring over there and maybe put, like, wouldn't you like to live in this nice Tesla home for a little while? Like, if they say that, and Elon's like, okay, I'll donate a bunch of Tesla homes, right? Because you can go look up Tesla, and we'll look at some Tesla homes on cool things on Winning Saturday Night, next Winning Saturday Night. And he could send a bunch of these over there. Not only that, it helps them test them out. It helps them get a better product out there. It gives them, it's a win-win situation, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with win-win situations, considering we've been in lose-lose situations for so long, right? So why not send a bunch of Tesla homes over there? They come with Starlink. I mean, you can get your internet, you get yourself a internet and TV and all that fun stuff, and you could and you'll give them a place to stay, and they won't have to go to another country. Just put them out in the perimeter or something. The people who don't want to leave, that is. So if somebody wants to go to another country and they let them in, and they want to go there for a little bit, refugee settlement temporarily, we'll take them back. Don't you worry about it. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Why not try it? Why not try that? Why not?
Morning. He has a very busy day of calls, and they will again continue to engage with our partners. That includes Steve Witkoff as well. Mary.
Two questions for you on the news of the day. So how is today's executive order going to impact the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles? For example, would a man who thinks that he's a transgender woman be allowed to compete as a female?
Hell no.
It's a very good question. And the president has actually mentioned this, that he does expect the Olympic Committee and the NCAA to no longer allow men to compete in women's sports. And I think,
yeah, otherwise you can take your goddamn Olympics over to somewhere else. Go take it somewhere else that wants that shit. Right? Go take it to China. They'll do it. No, maybe they won't. Yeah, none of that stuff, right? None of that stuff. And it's the law of the land. You can't be having that stuff. We're going to cover that that executive order that went in later tonight. What's up? My connection's going a little wonky right now, so I guess I got to talk just until I see a little bit better reception. I try to bring you guys the best quality I can. I've gone as far as to scale it down to 720 to get a better, make sure that we got a better flow. I got a great graphics card. I got fiber. I got everything you could possibly think of. I got a great, I got a Ryzen 9, dude. I'm hooking it up. and yet it's still running these things. And I think it's maybe StreamYards. I don't know. It's something I have to worry about later in the year when I get to a place where I can actually, think about that. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll keep an eye on how I can bring you guys the best, highest quality I can possibly do for what I'm doing here, and this not being a full-time gig and all that stuff. But I really want you guys to have a good experience when you're here. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I don't even want the Olympics here if they're going to pull a bunch of bullshit like they did last time. I mean, after the opening ceremony, most people tuned out. We all went on boycott. I mean, I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to enable it. Right. So if they're going to come here, I know it makes a lot of money. And unfortunately, I guess a lot of that money's going to go to California. And I don't know that it makes money for everybody, but it makes money for California. I guess it's good for all of America in some way, shape, or form. The World Cup, I think, should be better, But Olympics, man, I don't know. I'm just over it. If they said, "Hey, we're not going to have the Olympics here because they're being douchebags," I'm fine with that. Just go somewhere else.
The president, with the signing of his pen, starts a very public pressure campaign on these organizations to do the right thing for women and for girls across the country.
Thanks, Scott.
Again, this is an incredibly popular position. There have been many notable female athletes who have had the courage
How do you
to
know
speak out
that,
against some
Levy?
very powerful
How did you
institutions in
know?
this country. They deserve to have a voice and a say. The president is bringing their voice to the highest level at the White House this afternoon, and he expects these organizations to comply with this federal executive order that he'll be signing today.
Thank you. And one more on media coverage of this executive order and the topic in general. What's the White House's view of framing that calls men transgender females or similar rhetoric coming from organizations like the ACLU and GLAAD?
ACLU, don't bring those people up around me, man. ACLU's got to go. They should be labeled a terrorist organization as well. The founding alone tells us why they're here. They're here to help enable subversion. They're here to help protect agents of subversion and destabilization agents and demoralization agents, people that participate in riots and protect Marxist, rooted riots, divisive riots, critical, this. They're not a good group. They need to go. They're not really for American civil liberties. They're for subversive civil liberties. They're here to use the American law basically against us to help people who do bad things that are anti-American get away with it. That's what they are. So I would be happy to see those guys go. You can take the Olympics and both of y'all can get out of here.
Well, it's been very clear. The policy of this administration is that there are only two sexes, male and female. Pretty simple. Brian Glenn.
Yes. USAID has gotten a lot of attention in the last couple of days with some of these bizarre things that we've been, taxpayers have been funding.
Mm-hmm.
Now it looks like there are a couple media outlets that have been dragged into this conversation as far as USAID funding as well. Does the president have any comment on that?
Oh, yeah.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware.
So lagging again? Hold on. He's not playing Minecraft.
Funding from USAID to
laggy.
media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room, and I can confirm
It's still this laggy. I don't know if that's just StreamYards telling me that connection is unstable or if it actually is. I can never tell. And you guys tell me if it's laggy or not, all right?
that the more than 8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on, do these receipts serve the interests of the American people? Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort. Thank you. I'd like to give some love to the back row. I've heard that unfortunately they haven't been called on in.
All right. It looks like pretty damn laggy to me. Let me just wait it out for a second here. So yeah, man. Oh man. I think, okay. So here's the thing about USAID, right? USAID, American International Development. I think that's what it's supposed to mean. Okay. Now it's done. Let's get through this and I'll talk after this.
So Reagan, why don't you go ahead?
Thanks, Caroline. The WHC announced that comedian Amber Ruffin, who has called the president a toddler with his pants pulled down, will be the entertainment for this year's Correspondents' Dinner. Does the White House have a reaction to this choice, and will the president be attending the dinner this year?
Certainly
Okay, yeah, I got it.
An interesting choice. I have the president's invitation
She's
on my
very
desk.
nice.
I have the
She's very
invitation
polite.
from myself on my desk as well. Haven't talked to the president about it. When he makes his decision, I will let you all know. But definitely an interesting choice of the comedian. I'll talk to the boss about it and see what we decide. Sure, go ahead. Yes, yes.
On the executive order set to be signed today, you said that this will be enforced. Can you spell out for schools and the public how exactly?
Cocktails with Cav. What's up? How you doing? Good to meet you, man. Thanks for being here. Big Easy. I love the Big Easy.
Kids to discrimination. What is your response to that?
I think kids have already been exposed to discrimination, especially young women and girls who have been forced to shower in locker rooms with biological men, who have been forced to compete on playing fields with biological men, which is incredibly unfair and unsafe. And again, an incredibly unpopular policy with the American people. As for the actions that this executive order takes, I already laid those out at the beginning of the briefing. I'm happy to give you a copy of this fact sheet so you can let your audiences across the country know.
What's your message to schools who don't comply with this?
They should, because it's going to be federal law in about an hour and a half.
Nice.
So your colleague to your right, to my
Thanks,
left.
Caroline.
Yes.
Taylor with Spectrum News. You talked a bit about Doge. Elon Musk is currently a quote special government.
You're gonna have a
employee
good
who also
time down
owns
there, man.
companies that have billions of dollars in federal contracts. You said earlier this week that he has abided by all applicable federal laws, but what steps is the Trump administration taking to address that conflict of interest?
The president was already asked and answered this question this week, and he said if Elon Musk comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that Doge is overseeing, that Elon will excuse himself from those contracts. And he has, again, abided by all applicable laws. In the back left, go ahead.
Trade advisor Peter Navarro, when asked about the External Revenue Service today, said, quote, we're going to collect a lot of tariff revenues. We're going to get tax cuts out of it. Is it the official position of the White House
Arby, go
that
to
tariffs
Rumble.
will lower taxes for Americans?
The president has always been clear that he believes tariffs are a tax on foreign nations, and he's committed to cutting taxes for the American people here at home. He also believes tariffs are a great revenue raiser for this country, and that's exactly why he has committed to the creation of the External Revenue Service, which I think is a phenomenal idea.
I don't know who that channel this is. It's one of those weirdo channels that's like, let me go back. It's one of these, it's one of these weirdo channels that have this weird name that just does clips, just takes clips and puts them out there, and they do 2 million views. They're kicking my ass, right? But I can't even pronounce this. Something about knitting, and they seem to have it. They really have it out for Ilhan Omar. They like all their titles are about her sucking, so they're trying to give a thumbs up for that. 35,000 subscribers, 2 million views on this video in just 15 hours. They are kicking some serious ass right there. Makes me realize I may be in the wrong business, but I'd rather sit here and talk to people than make videos and just put them out. That's me. All right. Let me go back to here and say, all right. Yeah. RB, go over to Rumble if you're having censorship issues over here on YouTube. I don't know what you're trying to say, but if you say it over there, I might be able to put it up on screen and give you the voice that you deserve. You deserve. Cav, what's up, man? We're taking. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. No, I've been to New Orleans so many times for so many different reasons. 3 Mardi Gras. I was on tour with the band that used to play there. Halloween, Panic Halloween down there. Just so many times. It's a great place. It's an adventure. It's like when you go to New Orleans, it's like you leave and you just end up on a different planet where the rules are different. And you're different, the rules are different, the people are different. It's a lot of fun. It's just go there with an adventure in mind. I don't know if it's changed much since the last time I went, but I hope it hasn't. The food is great. Oh, the food is awesome. And the drinks are plentiful, and there's a lot of good fun, man. I just love New Orleans. I'm gonna go back there one day somehow. I won't be as probably. I don't know if I have as much fun as I did when I was young, but I'll just go down there for the food and stuff, and it's a good old time. But I am an Eagles fan. I make no bones about it. And my boys are down there right now getting ready to play the heroes and then Rocky 2 as we take down the big bad Chiefs, who people are just frankly sick of seeing in the Super Bowl. So we are the good guys, and we will walk away with the title this time. Let's go. Hey, Suzanne, how you doing over there? Just RB, if you need a link to Rumble, actually, I'm really easy to find over there, but someone can hook you up if you don't have one. I think you are over there. All right, let's get on to the next one. Okay, I'm not going to play the full press conference unless you guys want to play it at the end. If we have time at the end, I can play some of Trump's most recent press conference, executive order signing press conference. We did a couple of those this week already, but I did have something here somewhere. Is this it? Oh, come on now. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I know how to find it though. I did have a short clip I wanted to play from that. It was probably it's the highlight moment. It's the highlight moment of this. And it says a lot about who we had as our president, especially and who we had as our president when you see this clip. And again, it's the theme of we're winning our reality back and promises made, promises kept, right? And thank you to everybody who's watching over on X tonight. I don't have a lot of followers over there because I had to start a new channel because my previous channel, 1,800 followers, not great, but something, was taken down unfairly over something I didn't do, and I can't reach a human being to have a conversation. So it's just the way it is. I'm not real motivated to start going out there and trying to rebuild that platform yet. So it's just about 30 followers right now. But anyways, here's a highlight. And this is a great moment. So we should all share this together as promises were made and promises are being kept.
You want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pins, okay? You ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor? You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature because this is, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10.
Good point,
We
Arby.
have a 10.
God bless you, Mr.
I like the way he rates his signatures. That's a 10.
Pretty good, huh? Okay, good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all. Nice. Great going, everybody. Nice to see you. Thank you, kids. Here, take a pen. Thank you. I'll give some of these out, okay? Take a pen. Take a pen.
Thank you so much.
Where's
Isn't that great? Isn't that wholesome? Can you imagine if look at that. It's wholesome as can be. Can you imagine if that was Biden in that room? He'd literally be having a heart attack. He'd hyperventilate trying to sniff all the heads in there. He'd be grabbing them and groping and grabbing and touching and twisting and slobbering and breathing and sniffing. I mean, and here you can actually trust Donald Trump in a room full of young girls like this to be a respectable person. Serena Pickle, what's up? Did I say that right? Serene? Is it Serene? Or is it Serene? It's Serene Pickle, right? Okay. So I think it's Serene. Good to see you and welcome to the show. Nice to meet you. Happy that you're here. Everybody say hello. Yeah, he would be sniffing. He couldn't control himself, man. They'd have to keep him on a leash and keep his hands chained to the desk or something. Because they'd be like, this is a disaster waiting to happen. He's like, grope overload, right? But you can trust President Donald J. Trump in a room full of young women like this, and to be a gentleman and to be the kind grandfather that he is, and to be respectful as he gives them back. He protects their lives. He protects their efforts, their energies, their dreams with this new executive order, keeping men. I can't believe we got to say this, but it is 2024 and we have been through a lot of subversion in this country, keeping men out of women's sports. And as we know, the biggest problem in that whole scene is transposers, right? The transposers, the weirdos who think that just because they change their clothes means that they are now something else that they're not, and that gives them access to girls like this. And we all know what they're up to. So no, closing your little woke loophole. Bye-bye, and don't come back. And if you do, you better you better be ready for what's gonna happen to you. All right. Did someone else pop in here? Okay, we all good? Okay. Good. And at this moment, that every one of those girls will remember for the for the rest of their lives. And then he's just he's not asking them, hey, don't let me whisper in your ears. Don't tell your parents what I'm telling you. Grabbing them, pulling them in. I mean, people who can't see what Biden was up to, either they're not very good. They're not parents. They're not very good parents, or they're into it. I don't know, but I can't believe Biden even got elected after that C-SPAN thing he did with as vice president, where he spent an hour and a half basically groping everyone's children and doing pervy, weird things that we never should have allowed to be the leader of this country. I mean, it just shows you the state we were in at that point, and how they had to create 20 million votes out of nowhere, out of thin air, to pull that disaster off. But it was a blessing in disguise, and I hope people learned something from it. And I hope not too many kids were hurt during his 4 years there. I really hope that that was minimized, and I don't know. You never know what happens behind closed doors when the corrupt establishment's in charge. But I pray that no children were hurt during that administration. Let's just put it that way. All right. Let's go on to the next story of this evening. Maybe get this on out of here. All right. So there we go. Isn't that nice? That's like this. I think that's very nice. All right. Now we're going to get on into it. And time for our 2025 playlist. Let's go down and see what we got in there today. Let me go and pull. I organize all that just so it went out of order. I love it when that happens. Sure did. All right. So let me just move this all back up. Nope. Stop. Hold on. It's gonna take me a second to reorganize this, because for some reason when you when you have a playlist and you're on playlist mode and you organize it manually, as soon as you hit the first video, it goes over there and the list goes back to where it was. And it's just like, this sucks. And it doesn't give you an option to redo it. So I had it all nice and ordered. And it's going to take me twice as long, because when I mouse down, my whole screen moves and I can't figure out how to turn it off. I know it sounds like a boomer move, but I've been to settings, I've been to Chrome settings, I've been to Windows settings, and I don't know where it is. But I'll get the first video rolling, then I can organize the rest. Let me find out where it is. There it is. Okay. So what? Oh, here it is. Okay. Ugh. It's like trying to do stuff on ice skates. That's what it feels like. Like I'm trying to get some stuff done and I keep sliding doing this way and sliding that way. I actually just right. I'm almost to the top. There we go. Okay. That's the one I want. I gotta wait for it to come up. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna bring in one of our favorite creators right now to talk about more about the Gaza and what people are freaking out about. Now, on my own, and I should have put this up there first, but I'll do it afterwards. Like on my own feed, I came across this person who let's just do it now. Why not? What to do? I'll tell you what I said to them. It wasn't the greatest, but it was all right. Let's see the Palestine. Okay, this person right here, Francesca Albanese, UN special. What does it say? UN special what? Solidarity is a political decline of love. What? International lawyer, scholar, former UN official, senior advisor to who? I don't know who this person is, but anyway, she seems like not too smart or not too wholesome. Anyways, here she is, and this is what she says. This is the stuff that's going around. As I seem to be shadow banned, I repeat, the Riviera plan for Gaza is nonsense, which is nonetheless must be taken very seriously. President Trump has basically declared his intentions to commit the international crime of forced displacement and resort to unlawful use of force against the Palestinian people and their right to self-determination in violation of the UN Charter. Who cares? Amounting to aggression. It's so subversive. Anything they can do. The 191 members of the UN who still have an interest in protecting themselves from this madness better recover from their paralysis and stand united against this imperialist lawlessness. What a subversive blind control victim. You know, guess who's funding those 191 members the most out of anyone? The U.S. And if they want to keep their funding, they better keep themselves in line and let President Trump do the good work. In any case, this plan won't work. How do I know? 76 years of failed attempts by Israel, including 16 months of genocidal assaults. Indigenous people do not want to leave their lands. I'm so glad that you're speaking for them. But I did say, a heartless Marxist would want people to live in rubble with no running water, electricity, and hope for the future. Trump's kindness and empathy is shining through, and you can't stand it. The corrupt establishment not only allowed this destruction to happen to the Palestinian people, but enabled it by doing nothing to better their situation. Their idea of a solution was send millions of dollars in condoms to Hamas via USAID. We'll find your skeletons too, Francesca Copenseed. Yeah, there you go. That's typically one of my responses right there. All right, let me scale this back for a second. You guys like that? The UN is like a mass. The UN is like Moss Eisley, a hive of scum and villainy. Who cares what they think? I don't care what they think. And our Constitution is the law of the land, not some UN globalist idea of what our law should be. They can go. What do we say? They can go suck an egg, man. That's right. They sure can. All right, so let's get this other video back up. Sidetracks are fun. Sidetracks are cool. And here we go. All right. And I guess I can't really organize why this plays, but
See Jordan, I'd like to see Egypt take some look. The Gaza thing has not worked. It's never worked.
Winning speed.
And I feel very differently about Gaza than a lot of people. I think they should get a good, fresh, beautiful piece of land, and we get some people to put up the money to build it and make it nice and make it habitable and enjoyable and make it a home.
They don't want to leave. The Palestinians say they don't want to leave.
I don't know how they could want to stay. It's a demolition site. It's a pure demolition site.
Right.
We could find the right piece of land or numerous pieces of land and build them some really nice places. There's plenty of money in the area, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot better than going back to Gaza, which has had just decades and decades of death.
Where would those pieces of land be?
Well, they could be in Jordan, and they could be in Egypt, and they could be in other places. You could have more than two, more than one, but you could have more than two. And you'd have people living in a place that could be very beautiful and safe and nice. Gaza's been a disaster for decades.
Would the U.S. pay for that?
I don't think the UN would pay, but I think there's plenty of people that would in the area. They have a lot of money.
Then it's like Donald Trump's like, what? No. We're the idea people. We're the idea people. I mean, there's this big, I guess when people jump to conclusions, they think, oh my God, they're going to use our money to do it. And honestly, I mean, we've used our money for much worse things, right? But, you know, I was like, there's no way Trump's going to do anything that's not going to, you know, either not going to benefit the U.S. or not going to, you know, make it so that someone else is doing the dishing out the cash. He's trying to save us money, not cost us money, right? That's the whole thing, and more efficiency. So he's a great deal maker. He's gonna go out there and make a deal. And like I said, if corporations and other countries want to donate and help, that'll be great. They can get in on it. They can be friends. They can get a good name for themselves, get some free marketing from the Trumpster himself, and away we go. So let's check out. Oh yeah, speaking of queer Marxist, far left Marxist paradigm, here they are. They're right here. Look at all of them. They all seem to look the same, don't they? So they had the, you know, you can tell these people by their little checkerboard scarves and shit. And of course, they're out there speaking for other people because they're really not speaking for them. They're really just trying to further their Marxist agenda and basically their anti-capitalist agenda. And in this case, of course, the U.S. and Israel are the big bad oppressors, and the Palestinian people are oppressed. Even though Palestinians would throw these people off a roof as fast as they possibly could. So let's take a look.
Trump stated the following: the United States will take over the Gaza Strip.
Lie. See, they don't lie. They lie to their own people. They lie to everybody. They're not very smart. this girl thinks she's very I guess it's a girl. I have no idea what it is, but she thinks she's hot shit, doesn't she? Think, okay, hot shit. Go ahead and talk some more.
Let's make one thing loud and clear to Donald Trump. Netanyahu is an Zionist entity. Gaza is not for sale.
People are idiots.
Palestine is not for sale.
All right. Well, one thing I want you guys to pay attention to anytime we see this. Okay, I won't play it. One thing I want you guys to always think about when you see this crowd right here. All right, just make sure that you burn this into your mind. Hey, Lefty, what's up? How you doing? Lefty Laws show. Burn this into your mind, right? These people, right, are all like, they're all part of this queer Marxist kind of thing. And just look at the numbers of people they're pulling out, right? So for the people that aren't sophisticated or don't understand what they're kind of going to, there's a lot of people in the crowd that are just, oh, look, it's something. Oh, look, yeah, I kind of feel this way. Oh yeah, I'm starting to feel this way, but they don't understand that the underlying current here is socialist, queer Marxist socialist, right? They don't understand what these people are. If you want to know more about these, they do a conference every year, like a 5-day conference called Socialism. I guess it's called Socialism 2025 this year. Last year was Socialism 2024. And you go to like the Mayfair Books. It's a publishing company. These people are behind a lot of publishing that goes on. These people are behind putting a lot of subversive materials into schools, critical theories kind of stuff. And they are all about this recruitment and turn people against capitalism, right? They want their Marxist revolution, right? These are the people, and these aren't Democrats. They may have been former Democrats, but they're like, most of these people didn't vote for Kamala Harris. So don't be fooled by the fact that they're just going against Donald Trump. That therefore means they're part of the Democrat establishment. They're the useful idiots for the establishment. Like these are qualified useful idiots for the establishment, because anybody who supports Marxism and pushes it forward is a useful idiot, right? Because it's an empty promise. It's a grift. The whole thing is a grift. You're never going to get your utopia. What you will do is provide a utopia for the elitists that will rule above you while you live in dystopia and believe that you're living the dream. So yeah, you'll never get it. And if you're still alive, that usually they line their useful idiots up and take care of that business right away, because they don't want you protesting them when they normalize their Marxist dystopia on top of everybody. So yeah, just give up your rights, give up your property, and be a useful idiot. And right now they're in the revolutionary stage. So right now they feel empowered, like what they're doing is they're going to be part of it. This is the tragedy of subversion here. And it's the tragedy of demoralization, right? Yuri Bezmenov told us about this. So anyways, these are the subverted minds. And that's all I'm trying to point out here. It's like when you see this crowd and you see this rhetoric, know it and point it out to other people too. Help educate them. And you might just save someone from falling down in this trap, or you might just wake somebody up and be like, oh, I was kind of wondering about these people, right? Because a lot of people don't know this, especially if they're trapped behind the first veil, which is the establishment narrative. They're still buying into that establishment narrative. They won't see these people as for what they are. They won't ever research it. They won't ever know it. So you can be helpful in that way. And that's the kind of things we do here. We deep dive. We give you the inside. We give you new knowledge to work with and old knowledge to ramp up on. And hope that we can all make a better world out of it. So here we go. These are Americans, by the way. What are they chanting? Another thing that they do is they chant. It's part of the mind control process. By getting people to chant, it works their mind into this group mentality, this tribal mentality. They're more subjectable at this point. So it's just a form of mass mind control, really, and just on the spot kind of mass mind control. And it's psychological warfare, just
Boy. So we got a major announcement from President Trump after his meeting.
Greg Foreman, Black Conservative Perspective, awesome creator.
With Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. As you guys
Nittens.
should know, everybody should be aware that President Trump achieved a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas just a few days before he took office. The Biden administration tried to take credit for it, but everybody knows that President Trump was responsible for the ceasefire. Now, at the time, I said that this is not over. I'm hoping that it will be over at the very least for the next 4 years, but I highly doubt that this is the end. Okay. And in fact, I had been warning about what would eventually happen. Okay. It wasn't about if, it was about when. And I got a whole lot of backlash for it. And we're going to talk more about it. We're going to get in more details. But first, I want to go ahead and play this video of the major announcement that President Trump made about what's going to happen in that region, which is that the United States, according to President Trump, is going to take over the Gaza Strip. As in, the U.S. is essentially going to occupy that area of land, push the Palestinians out by essentially making their neighbors, Egypt and Jordan, take in a vast majority of the refugees and then rebuild that area into basically Gaza Lago. Take a look.
I strongly believe that the Gaza Strip, which has been a symbol of death and destruction for so many decades and so bad for the people anywhere near it, and especially those who live there, and frankly, who's been really very unlucky. It's been very unlucky. It's been an unlucky place for a long time. Being in its presence just has not been good, and it should not go through a process of rebuilding and occupation by the same people that have really stood there and fought for it and lived there and died there and lived a miserable existence there. Instead, we should go to other countries of interest with humanitarian hearts, and there are many of them that want to do this, and build various domains that will ultimately be occupied by the 1.8 million Palestinians living in Gaza, ending the death and destruction and, frankly, bad luck. This is, they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic.
So yeah, I think what we're going to hear and what we're hearing right here, that's the part where people are like getting confused when they say, we'll take it over. But see, that's the thing. Subversive, radical types like we just saw, they're always looking for that phrasing. They're looking for that one phrase they can turn around and spin into something else, right? The very narcissistic tactic. It's very manipulative. It shows a lack of respect for the people that they're doing it to, and it shows a very selfish intent, right? And obviously, what he means take it over, he means take it over in terms of the responsibility of helping rebuild it. He's not talking about physically taking it over. I know people like to jump to conclusions and run with shit, and that's why I always say, one thing we don't do around here, guys, and we never do, if you're new or just stopping in for the first time or whatever, one thing we never ever do around here is this. We do our best to never jump the shark about anything, right? And it's all about walking in, because once it's happening, it's already done. And we can always take our time and make sure that we get to the truth, because around here, it's more important to know the truth than have the truth, and to be right or to continue holding on to a false belief system. So that's the only way you really get based, is to be able to challenge those belief systems in the face of new information. It's a sign of intelligence, by the way. And then always say, when you have the truth, you're already right. So just go with the truth instead, let it be what it is. All right, let's go.
Economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I'm hopeful that this ceasefire could be the beginning of a larger and more enduring peace that will end the bloodshed and killing once and for all. With the same goal in mind, my administration has been moving quickly to restore trust in the alliance and rebuild American strength throughout the region. And we've really done that. We're a respected nation again.
And Mr. President, given what you've said about Gaza, did the U.S. send troops to help secure the security vacuum?
So Saudi Arabia is going to be very helpful, and they have been very helpful. They want peace in the Middle East. It's very simple. We know
That'd be a great counter chant. Peace, peace, peace in the Middle East. Libby says if Trump gets involved, it'll pay dividends. Do you know how huge it is that he started the sovereign wealth fund? Right? Yeah, we covered that. Talked about that the other day. We didn't get into depth about it, but I guess that that'd be a great use for it, right? Like any kind of involvement, any type of investment we make, it will come back to us, the American people. So that's man, you gotta love it, man. America first, win-win situations, people benefiting, people's lives being elevated, bringing safety and security around the world, prosperity around the world. I mean, the only people that hate that are like, are Marxist mind control victims, right? That's the only people. Who else could hate that? I mean, I don't understand anybody could hate that. And I guess when they do, it shows a lot of self-hate. That's just what it is, and a lot of hypocrisy, especially if they're coming from the on the establishmentarian side. In terms of their virtues, right? So if they're anybody virtuous, really virtuous, should want to see people be safe and prosperous, regardless of who brings it to them. And they'll have all that and more. So I think you're going to find that people in Gaza have a different attitude than the free Palestine, queer Marxist, people that are socialists that are out there. I think you're going to find that per usual, they're like, yeah, give me the nice place to live. Yeah, Trump, please come in here and turn the water on, the electricity, man. I'd love to have a good meal. I'd love to just take a shower or feel cool in the inside. Just little things we take for granted every day. 357. What's up? How you doing? Good to see you. On the back roads bike, baby. All right, you do that. Rock and roll.
Leader and their leaders very well. They're wonderful people, and they want peace in the Middle East. As far as Gaza is concerned, we'll do what is necessary. If it's necessary, we'll do that. We're going to take over that piece. We're going to develop it, create thousands and thousands of jobs, and it'll be something that the entire Middle East can be very proud of. But everybody feels that continuing the same process that's gone on forever, over and over again, and then it starts, and then the killing starts, and all of the other problems start, and you end up in the same place. And
he thinks Gaza is beautiful and they have the best weather. Today, as you mentioned, Riviera in the Middle East. It sounds like he's been talking about it like somewhere that they should build a sandals. And now he's talking about it like somewhere that the United States should go plant a flag.
Forcibly removing Palestinians from their land is against international law.
I think we're being a little dramatic and we're on our jump to conclusions, Matt, here a little bit. He muses occasionally.
Nice.
He muses occasionally.
Nice.
And
just to be clear,
it's
because you're suggesting that we are
on the jump to conclusions, Matt.
No, you're
I've been looking for that clip forever. I gotta find that clip. It's a
words in my
jump to
mouth.
conclusions, Matt.
I'm saying you and I both know he muses occasionally, and he's aspirational, and he says provocative things
Scott,
occasionally.
I really don't want to interrupt you, but I just for my own, I think I have to come to my own defense here in saying Donald Trump, with his own words, said this is what he wants to do. He wasn't musing. He was looking down at a piece of paper. I've been in a room with him, just like that, with foreign leaders, looking down at a piece of paper. He is reading a statement that was prepared for him. Those are not musings.
Well, okay, so you're willing to walk it back when it doesn't happen. You're willing to come on TV and say, I was wrong. I'm sorry, Mr. President. I was wrong. That's the whole thing with these people. They hold their feet to the fire. Oh, yeah, you're going to say that, huh? You know everything, right? So if you know everything, are you willing to come on? I want to write it down. We're going to save the clip. We're going to bookmark the video. Are you willing to come on when it doesn't happen and apologize? Like, where, guys, I mean, how many executive orders has he signed? He's done 4, 5, 6, 7 days. I don't even know how many days he's been sitting at that desk telling shit, man. But where's the first Project 2025? Where are all the people who are fear mongering, causing women to go out and shave their heads and cut off their damn get themselves fixed, like go down and get spaded like a cocker spaniel, right? Where are all the fear mongers who are spreading fear about Project 2025? Where are they at now? Where are you at now? Why don't you come out and apologize? Why don't you say you're wrong? All these chicks are trying, with their nose rings and their shoes and their shaved heads, right? Are sitting there going, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? And I really feel bad. Well, I don't, but I do in a way. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the ones that went and fixed themselves. like cattle or something, like a dog at an SPCA, wouldn't fix themselves because they thought Project 2025 was going to monitor them or some shit like that. And this is a big protest, or they thought the world was going to end. It was people like this right here, this lady right here, that caused people to do that stuff to themselves. That's abuse. It's called abuse, right? And that cycle of abuse is the cycle we need to stop, because it enables the corruption of people that are, these people are now corrupted. They're damaged because they bought into this. And some of them will be betrayed. Some of them will double down. But, the ones that tied their tubes, they ain't getting those back. But hysterectomies, you ain't getting that shit back, man. So it really sucks. It's abuse.
Scott, what happened to America first? So this is the guy who was supposed to take us out of the endless wars, said he's against nation building. He railed against I am.
I know. Playing the role of Catherine tonight.
Are you for the ethnic cleansing or against it?
Look, I don't know that I agree with the terminology you're using. Here's what I think. It's provocative. It's an interesting conversation point. Donald Trump, he's the only person in the world speaking positively about this particular geography right now. And I will just say that in the first term, he did something rather audacious with the Abraham Accords, highly successful. He's always thought positively and aspirationally about the Middle East. And I would just ask all of you all who are enraged about this, how's it going right now? How's the current management doing? Not really all that well.
Answer you, and
Terrible.
that's because of Americans' weapons and American inability to enforce.
You're blaming us for the management problems in Gaza?
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Now, before I give you guys my commentary, my opinion on this announcement, I want you to play a flashback clip of me discussing this issue on the Jimmy Dore show, in which they asked me about this issue, and I just gave them my honest opinion, and the comment section was very, very, very upset with my brutally honest opinion about what I thought was going to happen in the long run when it came to this conflict involving Israel and Hamas and the Gaza Strip. Take a look.
So do you wish we could get a different one? I mean, what are your views on it?
My views on Israel, I'm a realist when it comes to kind of foreign policy and stuff like that. So I personally think that no matter what happens, eventually Israel is just going to take all the land. And it's not about if, it's about when and how. Are the Palestinians going to leave, or is Israel going to take out enough of them to eventually take?
Oh man, Greg goes on podcast, man. I gotta see about getting him on the show.
Take the whole Gaza Strip. That's what the question is about. It's not about if, it's about,
it's about the
when.
Jimmy Dore.
And I just don't think that they can live together peacefully. So at this point, it's really about, do we want to co-sign that?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that. Now in the comment section, an audience of leftists said that I was ignorant, that I was calloused, that I was cold, I was heartless, that I support genocide, right? They accused me of all types of stuff. And I was just giving them my honest opinion. I didn't say I agreed or disagreed with it. I just gave my honest opinion based off what I thought was inevitable, which is that the Palestinians are going to have to leave that little strip of land, because it is plainly obvious. It is very clear that there will never be a two-state solution. The only solution is for the stronger nation, which is Israel, or the United States, because the United States is funding Israel. So basically, it's going to be Israel. It's going to be the United States. It's for the United States or Israel, some Western power, to occupy the territory. Now, what President Trump is proposing is slightly different from what I predicted, but I think that ultimately the end game will call for the Palestinians to be relocated. Now, how that's done, that's the key question. That's a lot more complicated, because at least up until now,
Tesla Village. All right, he's gonna go on about that, so we're gonna move on. But thank you, Greg. Awesome stuff as always.
The Arab neighbors, like
Tesla Village, man. That's why I think that. Well, wouldn't you like to? How about we move them to the line? The line needs people. They can live in the line. That's the solution. Let me get this thing organized real quick. It's gonna be a little bit brighty on this side, but how did I have this? Okay. Yeah, they can move to the line, dude. That's what needs to happen. We'll move them to the line. You guys know what the line is, don't you? T-Rex, what's up? You missed the part. Were you here when I played the part for you from the press conference? If not, it's at 420. Go back to 420 and watch that part, please. It's a carryover from last night. You had some things to say, so I hope that clears things up. Let's say, where are we gonna go next? That was that one, and then there was one more about it that. Give me 1 second, guys. There, not layer. Man, I got to remember to always click first and then organize. I usually do this before the show, and sometimes I forget. So. Nope, 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 nope. We have to move on if I can't find it. Or maybe I covered both. I don't know. There was a Gaza, there was another Gaza. And okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move on. Okay. Just it is what it is. If I find it, I'll come back. Hang on a second. All right. Okay. Let's go here. Let's move on to USAID and what's going on with that. Where are we at time? Yeah, that's probably a good call. Probably a good call. I did want to check in on one thing too. First, let's check in on this, and I'll try to get the rest of it going here. All right. So Pam Bondi is in the house, and she's on it already. So let's take a quick
General Pam
Bondi. Quick listen over at Robert Gouveia, another great. I try to bring the best possible creators, and I go out and find it. Hold on. All right, thanks. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go. Yeah, again, I try to bring the best creators to the table with us, most base takes I can find on the most important topics. And so let's take a look at what Robert Gouveia said. We're probably not going to get through the whole thing here, but let's take a look at what our Attorney General, new Attorney General Pam Bondi is doing. And this is awesome stuff.
Attorney General Pam Bondi is already working to end the weaponization of government, secure our border, and make America safe again. Look at the power. And as for illegals, Bondi has directed the DOJ, to pause all federal funding for sanctuary cities. Look at
There we go. There, pause all funding for sanctuary cities. Man, that's girl.
huge.
I'm not condemning the people that are working FBI cases in Iowa or any of the other 49 states because they're doing their job.
Pam Bondi takes the reins at the
Go on,
DOJ,
girl.
and she's not playing around. On day one, she's already released a new memo. Fox News has an exclusive on this, and they're going to detail what is inside. One big highlight, she's forming a weaponization committee to go after and find all these people, including the hack prosecutors that we covered here on this channel, like
Nice.
Fannie and Bragg and Tish and anyone else.
There you
who
go.
broke
Get rid
the
of Fannie,
law,
dude.
corrupted
Get rid of
their
her.
power, and went after the president and
Georgia loves you.
J6ers, and by proxy, you and me, okay, calling us MAGA extremists and homegrown domestic violent extremists and RVEs and DMVEs and all these things. Now she's going to get to the bottom of it. But before we look at the memo, let's see explicitly what happened today when everybody was in the Oval Office. There's the president himself, joined
Hell
by
yeah.
Clarence Thomas, his wife, Pam Bondi, her husband, and of course the president himself, swearing her in. This is a big day. Here is how it sounded today.
Pamela Bondi, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign
It's
and
them all.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me
Help me God.
All right, so Pam Bondi takes the helm, and it is a great day indeed. Now, she didn't play around. She's like, where's my desk at? Give me a pen and give me my order. Chad Gilmartin posted this. He's working at the Justice Department, looks like, with Trump 47. What's up, Chad? Shout out. Says, Attorney General Pam Bondi is already working to end the weaponization of government, secure our border, and make America safe again. Look at the power. Sign it, Pam. Beautiful. And she's a lefty.
This green dot up here in the corner is like best me up. I keep thinking it's like
yes.
my screen.
It gets better by minute. Incredible. All right. So she's signing orders. There's Emil Bove standing right there. And it felt so good just to scribble that out.
Hey,
Incredible. What a day. We're taking over.
Scott, take care,
too.
man. Thanks for being here.
Here's what the memo said. So Fox News got an exclusive. They said Bondi's DOJ day one directives, fight weaponization of justice, eliminate cartels, lift death penalty ban, which we can have a conversation about that one. But first two are great. So it says here, Attorney General Pam Bondi will issue several major directives on her first day leading the Justice Department, including orders to combat the weaponization of the legal system. More details on that.
Perfect.
That is what we're talking about. Make prosecution.
All right, cool. So I just wanted to kind of just highlight that real quick because we got much more stuff to get through. And I just wanted to say, well, that's what she's going to be tackling first. Some of her first initiatives. There you go. So we got much more to get through here. And I wanted to go ahead and jump over to, man, I wish I had got these out of order. Let's see. I tell you that the spice is coming, dude. Spice is coming. I got some spicy stuff coming up. You better believe that by the time we get down here into this part of the list, woof, it's not even in order right now. So, okay. That was ahead of that. And where's the rest of it? Oh yeah, this part. These two are the spice, man. Whoop. Okay, and we don't need to do that one now. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we're in order here again. All right, here we go. All right, so let's jump on. Oh, nope, I gotta pull this one down a little bit. Right there, I believe. Okay, so let's jump on over to the floor today. Now, this one we're going to talk about USAID. This is the USAID section, man. Boy, dude, had they been pulling a fast one. And what I want to say before we even get started on this is that remember, this is an older organization. It's been around for a long time. It's been doing a lot of stuff. So just to understand the quality upgrade we're getting right now, let me just change the screen here real quick. Just to explain the quality upgrade we're getting. We're going to hear from Cynthia Luma here in a second. In 2016, did anybody here know about USAID? In the first week here, they've identified the main source. Somebody went out there and said, hey, Trump, and by the way, he's green his first time around, right? We just needed that type of leadership and deal making, right? He was going to learn on the job. We kind of all knew that. And unfortunately, he got surrounded by a bunch of bad actors, which in the end turned out to be a good thing because it helped made him more wise, more seasoned, more sophisticated, and more more determined than ever here in 2024. Bill Kristol's getting wrecked. Yeah, he can get wrecked, man. And so but now within the first couple weeks, we know about this scandalous organization that's been money laundering all over the place. You know, where was the talk about this department and where was the action against this department in 2016? Now, in 2020, Biden just, enabled this stuff because he's probably benefiting from it. And then the corrupt establishment all over the place. That's why they hate Elon right now. It's because he is, he knows where the bodies are buried, evidently. And he's got a great team around him. And even though some of these the team is getting getting some criticism because of their age, I'm going to show you exactly who that is here and just coming up in just a minute. And we're gonna learn a little bit more about that person and why they are so qualified for the job. It's not even funny. And remember to listen to the Wolf when you're here. He knows who he's talking about. Your thumbs up, your support, and make sure you ring that bell if you subscribe because I'm definitely shadow banned because I tell the truth, nothing but the truth, as best I can. Thumbs up, and it helps get out in the algorithm on Rumble, and it's really nice here on YouTube as well. But okay, so let's jump into this and just say, man, quality upgrade. Look at all the stuff they found so far, right? And there's U.S. spending, U.S. government spending.gov. You can go there and you can do searches as well. So here we go. This is a great. She nails this, by the way. I'm just going to tell you right now, and she runs down the list. Check this out.
I was growing up, I thought about foreign aid as helping people in foreign countries who needed food or shelter, who were struggling because their country was having a civil war and they'd been cut off from having clean water, enough food for their families, some place for shelter. I think that's what most Americans think foreign aid is, that we want to help people around the world because the United States is blessed. God has given us more than he's given most nations, and that we need to respond in ways that are helpful to our fellow man. But today, I hear my colleagues blaming a guy named Elon Musk for doing away with foreign aid. If anybody is to blame, it's us. It's the Congress of the United States for taking our eye off the mission of our country to provide aid to those around the world who need it. Millions of taxpayer dollars are being wasted on left-wing pet projects that don't benefit us here at home.
The numbers he's going to recite here.
That actively work against our interests and do not help those in need around the world.
Nope.
I believe that American taxpayer dollars should be spent making lives better for Americans and better for those around the world who have far less than we have. You know, I've been talking about our national debt since I was first elected to Congress in 2009. At that time, our national debt was just turning over from $9 trillion to $10 trillion. I was apoplectic. How could we let our national debt get over $9 trillion? Mr. President, today our national debt is $36 trillion.
$36 trillion. Remember that.
Inconceivable. It's inconceivable to the American people. It's certainly inconceivable to the people in my state. They want answers. They want to know, where's all this money going? That's why they elected Donald Trump. They didn't like seeing people come into our country illegally. They didn't like seeing inflation make their lives harder, make their family pay $1,000 to $1,500 more per month with no change in their lifestyle. Inflation is eating away at the lives of American people. They're working harder than ever, and their dollars going less far. So now we're talking about Elon Musk being to blame. I'm proud that President Trump chose to include Elon Musk in his administration, because President Trump is already getting results, the kind of results that the Congress has turned a blind eye towards. We all know that Washington is addicted to spending, and it isn't getting any better. For too long, my colleagues have had meltdowns anytime somebody suggests we should cut spending. But I'd always thought that we all agreed we need to take a look at some of the federal programs into which we're pouring taxpayer money. Well, thanks to President Trump, we finally had the opportunity to get started assessing what we're spending.
You can speed this up a little bit.
And what we're finding in some instances is it's not very pretty. This week, we learned just how much USAID has been weaponized by the far left.
Yep.
They're pouring millions of taxpayer dollars into liberal programs and causes. And I'll bet some of these, even my colleagues on the left, had no idea about.
I doubt it.
This is wildly out of keeping with stated American interests for how we will spend taxpayer dollars abroad. Here are some of the ways the last administration have wasted your money. More than $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, yeah, they need our 4.5. Every time I hear these numbers, I get furious, man, because like most of us out here are struggling, right? Most of us out here are struggling. You know, we got concerns, we got things that we're struggling, but they can just write a check for 4.5 million to Kazakhstan to combat disinformation. What kind of disinformation? Who decides that?
And just whose disinformation is it? I think that's probably in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
20 million for a new Sesame Street show in Iraq.
20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq. $20 million for a Sesame Street show in Iraq? What the hell are the puppets made out of gold? I mean, I don't understand why are we funding television? This sounds like money laundering, doesn't it? It sounds like it's just made it up. Oh yeah, we'll say we're starting a Sesame Street show. We'll send you $20 million. Here you go. Most fraud starts small, a little out of a petty cash. Next thing you know, you're forging the boss's signature for $100,000 check. Mm-hmm.
$25 million for Deloitte to promote green transportation in the country of Georgia.
$20 million for a consultant company to promote the green agenda in another country. Think about that. Whose green agenda is it? It's the UN's.
Million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid, quote, binary gendered language.
What? How much? Well, how much did you say of us?
Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid Georgia. Nearly 8 million to teach Sri Lankan journalists how to avoid, quote, binary gendered language.
$8 million to teach somebody how to avoid binary gendered language? 8 million. Little Miss Giggles, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, it certainly is money laundering. Welcome to the show. Nice to meet you. It certainly is money laundering, and boy, they're going to be pissed when their little laundromat goes out of business.
Binary gendered language in Sri Lanka? You've got to be kidding me. 5 million to Eco Health Alliance, one of the key NGOs, non-government organizations, funding bat virus research at the Wuhan lab.
Ooh. You mean the lab that did the thing? That shut down our country for a very long time and scarred a generation? That one? We're still giving money to those people?
20 million for a group related, by the way, to a key player in the Russiagate impeachment hoax. 1.5 million to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem. 1.5 million on DEI.
Why are we paying for that?
Programs in Serbia.
Oh, DEI programs in Serbia. We're sending money to that too.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion programs
that's illegal here now.
in Serbia. Mr. President, I could probably go on for another hour. President Trump isn't just talking about cleaning up the waste and abuse of your taxpayer dollars. His administration is doing something about it. These bureaucrats are accountable. They must be accountable. They have to be accountable to us, to Congress, to the American people. And President Trump is holding them accountable. Because of DOGE, which is led by Elon Musk, the Trump administration is taking action where Congress wouldn't uncover the waste, fraud, and abuse that's going on in our foreign aid programs. Thanks to DOGE, the Trump administration has already terminated some 36 contracts, saving taxpayers more than $165 million.
$165 million saved already.
The administration has canceled underutilized leases, saving taxpayers close to $50 million. That's after 2 weeks in office. This is just the first step towards reclaiming control of our government and our budget.
Just 2 weeks in. Think about how much we're going to be saving by the end of the year.
And I would think my colleagues from all over the country, both parties, would be pleased that we're uncovering waste, fraud, and abuse.
Right? But no, because you know why? They're getting the kickbacks.
That's why the American people elected Donald Trump. President Trump and Elon Musk are threatening to turn off the DC spigot that's flowed taxpayer money into far-left organizations and causes.
Yep.
Now, I want to respond to some of the claims from my friends across the aisle.
And they've been abusing us like this for decades. That's the part that really just makes me fume. You know, DEI today, something else from the past. They've always found a way to do this. They've been screwing us for so long. Our entire lives, probably. This department's been around since Kennedy, by the way. Now, maybe it was doing good at some point. Maybe initially it was doing the right thing. But someone figured out, you know what? We can use this department to do lots of bad things. And so there you have it. We're, here we are in 2024, just hearing about this. And think about how many years and how many millions and millions and billions of dollars have been funneled through this agency of our money into the pockets of the worst people in the world. And we wonder how they get away with it. And we wonder why things keep turning out bad and why things stay corrupted, right? This is financial abuse. They're robbing us blind. right? Robbing us blind, keeping themselves in power and wealth, and keeping us in squalor and scarcity while they have surplus and prosperity for themselves on our dime. They're basically just high-end bank robbers, man.
Calling this a constitutional crisis.
Scammers and grifters.
I'm grateful that Democrats realize that we are the Article 1 branch and we control the power of the purse. I'm also happy to hear that most of us
get rid
want
of
to get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse.
See ya.
And that's why I asked my colleagues
to
join us now, regardless of party, regardless of state. Join us now. We have a funding bill coming up and reconciliation. Let's work together and do our job, rooting out government waste and making real cuts during our appropriations process.
I was like, anybody who opposes like shutting this place down or not investigating it, their names should be run through the database for how did you benefit from this? And then that should go straight to Pam Bondi and charges should be filed. End of story. It's theft. End of story. You know, it's felony theft. You know, that's federal pound me in the ass prison time.
Serious about this because the fiscal crisis before us could not be more serious. No nation has lasted very long when their debt exceeded 100% of GDP, but that's where we are. That's where we are today. It's time to act. We must clean up this debt and spending crisis.
Just in time, man. Slide in
Our fiscal future
sideways.
is on an unsustainable path and a scary path, and everybody says that, including the chairman of the Federal Reserve. He says it's unsustainable. With higher interest costs and our record debt, we are in trouble. In 2024, the interest on the national debt was over $880 billion. That's more than we spend on defense or Medicaid. That number will only increase. Projections put interest payments on the national debt at more than $13 trillion over the next decade. That's $13 trillion that isn't going to further our interests, to help with foreign aid. It's not going to help our children. It's a debt burden on this entire nation. Rooting out wasteful spending should not be controversial. Every taxpayer should want their tax dollars to be spent wisely and on things that make our country stronger, our goals more closely held to heart around the world. But that hasn't been the case. What's been the response of some in the minority party regarding the disclosure of this wasteful spending? Instead of joining in a bipartisan effort to get our fiscal house in order, we're seeing protests. We're seeing Elon Musk demonized. It's starting to look like blaming Elon Musk is trying to change the subject.
How about that? Or
Trying to blame Elon Musk for shining a light on Congress's wasteful spending.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to see it because it's beyond time to get serious about our national finances. The people of Wyoming are grateful. I hear it when I go home. I see it in their eyes. People will come up to me in the feed store, in the grocery store, and say they're grateful to President Trump for creating Doge. They're grateful to the patriots working hard at Doge to identify waste and fraud and abuse in these programs and to start the process of cutting reckless spending. So speaking on behalf of the people of Wyoming, I want to say thank you. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you for bringing in a group of people to help us shine a light on how we can make America better in just the way that the American people yearned for, wanted, expect, and celebrate.
That was a very thorough explanation of it. And by the way, another part of it, I don't know where I heard this. Maybe it's going to come up later on, the spicy parts that are coming up. But they basically told the Treasury to stand down, like to rubber stamp everything this department has wanted. So every time they make a request to the Treasury, it's just automatically approved. It's been automatically approved over and over and over again. I'm thinking I heard that on the Bassett interview. I don't think I have that lined up, but that one is one it may be in another video later, but the Bassett interview, I think I'm saying his name right. I'm probably not. That I saw today. I thought I had it in this list. Damn it. Gosh darn it. I guess I didn't put it in this one. It's okay. It's all right. Take my word for it. It's fine. No, but they were just saying, yeah, basically we've been told, the Treasury has been told for several administrations, just with, if it comes through from this group to say yes. So that's how they haven't had any oversight, right? They managed to bypass oversight and be taking money out of our Treasury, right? Adding to our debt, without anybody understanding what they're doing. And that's why every time we have these revelations where someone actually goes and looks at what they're spending it on, people are like, what? What are you doing? This is like the most wasteful thing it looks like on the front. And then what I never hear is anybody following up to see if these programs actually get implemented. Like, where does it land at the end? I think by that point, we're just so like over it, or like it never should have been given to them in the first place. So who cares if it's there or not? But yeah, I think we might find out that there is a lot of money laundering going on. And like a lot of these programs that were shuffled millions and millions of dollars never got off the ground. Oh, well, we tried, but we ended up spending all the money and didn't work out. And then it was Sesame Street in Iraq. At the end, they didn't want gender education in Sri Lanka. Oh, well, we'll just keep the money then. You can give it back. I think you should give it back. I think everybody who took money from this department and didn't do what they were supposed to do should have to pay it back, And I think maybe that's what will be the external revenue service that Trump's talking about starting. What's this? Daisy Williams says Doug DeNaples had an excellent video on Hillary's comments and new comments on USAID. What did she say? Throw it at me. We might have time for it. Man, I saw this guy and he's a favorite. So we'll play him on Adderall speed, but just to make it through here because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. We'll go for one more and then we'll wrap it up. Remember, coming up, I got the spicy videos takes. Man, it's this thing that's going on in South Africa. You're not going to believe. People are quitting the Democratic Party over this USAID stuff. That's coming up right after this one. That's the first spicy one coming up. And boy, you're not gonna believe what this dude's saying. I love this video. We'll be able to get through that with no problem. But all right. So, but I haven't heard this, but when you can't go wrong with Doug Kennedy, with John Kennedy, sorry, Senator John Kennedy.
56 years.
Hold on. I should start this over.
I've been in the Senate for 8 years. In dog years, that's 56 years.
This is 1.5
And it
speed,
feels
by
like
the way.
56 years. I've learned a lot, met a lot of interesting people. Before I got here, everybody told me about the Washington bubble.
Can we do it?
And I said, how serious could they be? Well, it's true. There is a Washington bubble. This place is different. It's in its own way, sometimes disappointing, sometimes refreshing. It is deeply weird. For one thing,
Let me know if this is too much for anybody.
It's illegal. For another thing, I discovered that this is a town of very frustrated ex-class presidents. And there's a Washington way of doing things.
Sorry, my mouse.
And when things aren't done that way, when somebody challenges the status quo, many, not all, but many of these frustrated ex-class presidents in Washington, on the Hill and otherwise, they get excited, not in a good way.
This is Adderall
They can't get their
overdose.
mind around doing anything other than the Washington way. Some of them, particularly in the media, they go almost catatonic, or the exact opposite. They foam at the mouth, and they really get upset. They can make a Valium nervous. It's like the world. We're not doing things the way we've always done them, and the world's going to spin off its axis. I want to try to put in perspective what many of my Democratic friends have been talking about today. They're very, very, very upset at President Trump. And they're very, very, very upset at Elon Musk. President Trump ran for president on a number of issues. One of the issues he ran on, he said it almost every day. He said, if you elect me president, I'm going to go through the entire budget and review all the spending, line by line. If I heard him say that once, I heard him say it 1,000 times. And that's what he's been doing. He went out and appointed, through an executive order, Elon Musk, who some people like him, some don't, but he's not a dummy. He's a very successful business person. He's got a top secret security clearance. President Trump issued an executive order, and he turned to Mr. Musk, and he said, Mr. Musk, I want you to do for me what I said I was going to do in the election. I want you to go through all the spending, line by line. Now, let me ask you something, Mr. President. How are you going to review the spending without reviewing the spending? How are you going to audit the spending by an agency without auditing the agency? That's what I mean when I say common sense is illegal in Washington, D.C. That's what Mr. Musk is doing. He's put together a crackerjack team, and they're going through everybody's spending line by line, item by item. And my Democratic colleagues are very, very, very upset. And they've been very eloquent. They've talked about the process, and President Trump's executive order supposedly violates the Constitution. And they've accused Mr. Musk of having conflicts of interest. And so I've heard people say he's sitting over there with a notepad, copying down everybody's social security number, and he's going to go use it to make money. I mean, people in this town, not just my Democratic colleagues, they're really upset. They've never said anybody question their spending. But that's what Mr. Musk is doing. But you know, I've listened. This has been going on for a week. People have been screaming like they're part of a prison riot. Oh my God, look at what Musk is doing. He's looking at the spending. And I've listened to people talk about the process and debate whether it's constitutional and discuss how many lawyers can dance on the head of a pin. But you know what? I haven't heard one single person who's upset with President Trump or Mr. Musk talk about what he's found. They don't want to talk about the spending porn, the waste of taxpayer money that he's found. I mean, that's the point of all this. I tell you who is interested. The American people. The people in America who get up every day and go to work and obey the law and pay their taxes and try to educate their kids and try to do the right thing by their kids and try to save a little money for retirement and have had to live through 20% inflation under President Biden. They understand what Musk is doing. They understand spending porn and wasting taxpayer money. Now, Mr. Musk started with the USAID. That handles a lot of foreign aid for America. American people are very generous. In our country, you know, when you're homeless, we'll house you. When you're hungry, we'll feed you. In our country, when you're too poor to be sick, we'll pay for your doctor. And we send a lot of money overseas to help our world's neighbors. And the USAID is in charge in large part of that. But I'll tell you what Mr. Musk discovered. I found it fascinating. He discovered that the American taxpayers are giving money to Afghanistan. He found that we are giving money to Yemen. He found that we are giving money to Syria. I didn't know that. Some of our foreign aid is going to Yemen, Afghanistan, Syria. He found that the USAID has 10,000 people, employees. And every year they give away $40 billion. Mr. Musk also found, and I'm not saying that all of this money is wasteful. I'm not. Some of this money, I'm sure, does some good. That's why Secretary Rubio is going to revamp the department to separate the good from the bad. But this is the kind of stuff Mr. Musk found. He found that the USAID gave money to support electric vehicles in Vietnam. Our money, taxpayer money. He found that USAID gave money to a transgender clinic in India. I didn't know that. I bet you the American people didn't know that. He found that USAID gave $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ group called Grupa Izadaji. I probably mispronounced that. My apologies. Anyway, they got $1.5 million to, quote, advance diversity, equity, inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business community.
Thanks for telling me I'm muted. Oops. Yeah, so what I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself. I'm saying that I'm not still muted. I'm not. Hold Hold on, no way. How am I still muted? I'm not still muted. So anyways, I'm saying that while we've been going on for lives trying to get our houses in order, they've been taking our money and spreading cultural Marxism and Agenda 2030 around the world.
What colleagues don't want to talk about? Well, he reviewed a study and then went and checked it. The study was done by the Middle East Forum. They found that USAID spent $164 million to support
check. I'm not muted.
Around the world.
You're muted.
We're not talking Cub Scout troops here. We're talking about radical organizations around the world. They gave $122 million of that to groups aligned with foreign terrorist organizations. Our taxpayer money. According to this report, and Mr. Musk, the USAID has given millions of dollars to, quote, organizations in Gaza controlled by Hamas. Why aren't my colleagues talking about that? Recipients of the money, they found, have, quote, called for their lands to be cleansed from the impurity of Jews. That's what we're giving foreign aid to. What else? I'm not going to spend my whole time talking about this, but nobody else is talking about it. They're just talking about the process. And Mr. Musk, and he's a mean guy, and he shouldn't be looking at our spending. Well, he is. And I kind of find what he found out interesting. He found that we gave $2 million, USAID did, for sex changes in Guatemala. He found that we gave $20 million to produce a new Sesame Street show in Iraq. He found that we gave $4.5 million of taxpayer money to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan. He found that we gave $10 million, USAID did, of meals to an Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group called the Nusra Front. Mr. Musk found that we gave $7.9 million of taxpayer money to a project that would teach Sri Lankan journalists to avoid binary gendered language. The USAID took $8 million and gave it to a bunch of journalists in Sri Lanka to teach them how to avoid binary gendered language. I don't know what the hell binary gendered language is. I think I do. You think most taxpayers would support that? Why are we talking about that? The USAID gave $1.5 million to promote LGBT advocacy in Jamaica. They gave $1.5 million to rebuild the Cuban media ecosystem.
I heard some of this already, but he's funny.
They gave $1.5 million for, quote, art for inclusion of people with disabilities in Belarus. Another $3.9 million for LGBT causes in Macedonia.
Macedonia.
$8.3 million for equity and inclusion education in Nepal.
Nepal. We're the ones spreading this cultural Marxist shit around the world. You want to know who's doing it? We're paying for it. We've been paying for it the whole time. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And it was all done right under our noses. And guess who's trying to stand in the way of us stopping it? The people who wanted it there in the first place, probably benefiting from it, but also just benefiting from the end results, you know, and maybe in some sick way believing, you know, some of them actually believe it's a just cause. But again, this is all just Agenda 2030 and cultural Marxism. How's it getting around everywhere? We're paying for it. So now it's going to stop. Navin, jail them all. I agree, man. I agree, Navin. Welcome. Nice to meet you. How you doing? Yeah, and jail them all. That's what we got to do. Anybody who stands in the way of this, it might as well just put a big old guilty button on them because they need to be investigated. Oh, yeah. And yeah, they're bleeding us dry. We wonder why we're struggling. Well, imagine if this hadn't been going on. Imagine if none of this had been going on. We just had a really legitimate place. How well we'd all be doing. We're not talking like nickels and dimes here. We're talking millions and billions of dollars. They gave $20 million to George Soros DA fund. That one flipped my lid. Yeah, that flips my lid too, Libby. That flips my lid too. Someone who's an international criminal, where we gave $20 million to, and he turns around and gives that money to rioters, to people who destroy and destabilize and demoralize our country, who bring us a crisis. Hey, thanks, Navin. Thank you. It's great to meet you. Thanks for popping in and saying hello and meeting people too, man. I appreciate that. I'm sure everybody's here. If you have seen them pop up on screen, you get to know them, man. They're really great people. We got the based crowd, the most based crowd in the scene going on here, and hopefully the most well informed. Hopefully if I'm doing my job, the most well informed. I'm trying my best with what I do with this little part-time gig I got going on here. All right. Kennedy is great. He's fun. He's funny. He's like, I'm just an old country rooster, Your Honor. He reminds me of that rooster lawyer. For some reason, I don't know why I keep seeing that in my head. He's like Foghorn Leghorn. I'm just an old country rooster lawyer, Your Honor. But yeah, build me a using American workers, right, man? Wait, what's it gonna look like in 4 years when we're not doing this BS anymore? I'm telling you, man, David, I'm with you. Everybody else is with you. You know, jail them all. Anybody who stands in the way of this deserves to be in jail and lose their job, lose their money, lose everything, because this is the biggest swindle in, I don't know, world history. This department may be this whole thing may turn out to be the biggest swindle, at least in American history. I mean, probably in world history. When we talk about how long it's been going on, where the money's been going, and what it's been going towards. We literally are spreading an ideology around the world that defeats our own here at home. And we wonder why the country's all messed up, why people are all screwed up. Man, getting rid of them, when you cut the money off, things start changing, right? We cut the mind control of critical theory off, things start changing, right? And doors start opening for each and every one of us. Life will get better over time as these things start to go away in ways we wouldn't even imagine, you know? Imagine the dollar being worth something again. You don't wonder why the dollar and inflation is so bad. It's like, you know, where's our money going? Spending $32 trillion in debt, shoveling money out the door to bullshit like this. God bless, man. I know we all feel the same way, but let's hear the rest of this, man.
And many of my colleagues are upset. They're really mad at Mr. Musk. I think
I'm mad too.
All he's doing is what President Trump said he was going to do. President Trump said he's going to audit the spending. So Trump goes and hires Musk, again with a top secret security clearance. Nobody can.
He's so mad. He's on
his intelligence.
Lightning speed.
The guy's as smart as Einstein's cousin. He's a very successful businessman. Some say he's the richest guy in the world. And he's doing the auditing. And man, he's finding a lot of stuff. I call it spending porn. Now, I'm not saying everything that USAID does is wasted.
Watch spending porn.
But I'm saying a lot of it is.
I mean, an omelet.
A hell of a lot of it is. And we ought to be on the floor of this United States Senate thanking Mr. Musk. And we ought to be asking him to go through every agency and look at everybody's budget. Everybody's budget. That's what the American people want.
Yep.
They don't want to talk about process.
Everybody's.
They don't want to.
And nobody is above the law.
They want to save some money. And let me tell you what's really going on here too, Mr. President.
Tell us.
For 4 years under President Biden, and for 8 years under President Obama. And I
You
respect
too,
both of
Levy.
them. I don't hate anybody. I don't. When I say my prayers at night, one of the things I ask God, God, don't let me hate, because it's hard in Washington. Don't let me hate. I have all the respect in the world for President Biden and President Obama. Tough job.
Please.
But between them, they spent 12 years in Washington.
I'm just
and
an old
President set the
country
tone.
chicken, you know.
They control the
Oh, yeah,
questions they're
yeah.
asked. And here's the question that President Obama and President Biden asked for 8 years. I heard it for 12 years. I heard it every single day. Who needs to pay more in taxes? Is it you? Is it you? Who needs to pay more in taxes? We need more money. Who needs to pony up more? That was the
Right? Yeah, they want to pay their fair shares. Get the rich guys in here to give us more money to shovel out the door and launder across the world. Yeah, that's what we need.
Not the issue today. We have a new president. You know what the issue is today? What the hell happened to all the money?
Where's the money?
What the hell happened
Gary?
to all the money? And that's what Mr. Musk is finding out.
Gary now stands for everything that's fraudulent and wrong in this world. So when I say where's the money, Gary, that's the corrupt establishment. We're just gonna call it Gary from now on.
That's all this is about. And I'm just shocked that my colleagues have decided that this is a hill they're going to die on. How can you look the American people in the eye and support this kind of waste?
They have no soul.
Support this kind of spending. I mean, the election to me made at least one thing clear, that the American people are sick and tired of people in Washington denying reality. The last administration tried to convince us that we were living in a crime-free world where inflation was temporary and the border was secure. And the American people didn't buy it. You know why? Because it wasn't true. And the administration, our last administration, tried to argue that Bidenomics was making our lives better. But the American people knew differently.
Elon bought X, the revenue may have gone down, but he doubled their earnings after.
Where's the money, Gary? So here we go. On the heels of that. I actually, you know what, before I get to that one, let's go over to our last minute entry by Daisy Girl Williams. She's famous for doing this, by the way. Part of her fame around here. So she's famous for putting in last minute entries. We all love Doug Tenaple. We all love Doug. He needs to clean up his back room, but it's looking good. But yeah, let's listen to what Doug has to say. And there's some old wretched demon in this video out here. So do you need winning speed? Of course you do. No, you don't need Adderall speed. You need winning speed. We'll go winning speed, then Adderall speed, and then Adderall addict overdose speed. That was what we had Kennedy on. That actually worked for him pretty well. That would have been a long 14 minutes had we not done that.
USAID has been exposed and its guts are spilling out in the street. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Thank you guys for joining me. Come in, hang out, sit down. We're going to talk about where did USAID go bad? Started by JFK back in the 60s.
Yep.
And now it's corrupt. It was the Clintons, lo and behold. Now, first we're going to start down and below.
Okay.
So here's Secretary
So
Sean.
you're saying it was good until the Clintons got a hold of it. Why am I not surprised?
Duffy, right? He's the new.
My commitment to the American people is I don't care your race, your religion, your color, your sex, your sexual preference. I don't care about any of that. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe. And that should be the standard in this department. And that's coming back. That's what we're bringing. We're going back to our mission.
Secretary Duffy, big news. Talk to the Doge team. They are going to plug in to help upgrade our aviation system. So that's,
man, what an upgrade already just in leadership, going from Buttigieg to Sean Duffy. I mean, someone who cares about safety and competence and merit.
That's where it all starts. Elon Musk's team of kids, these young autistic 6 guys, they're in their early 20s, are his interns that are going to help look into what could be going wrong with our aviation.
That was perfect, Daisy, because that's where I'm going next. Yeah. Next, we're going to find out about this gentleman right here.
Guys, they're in their early 20s, are his interns that are going to help look into what could be going wrong with our aviation system. And here's Hillary Clinton shooting off her mouth on X. They have no relevant experience. Most of them aren't old enough to rent a car. And you're going to let them mess with airline safety that's already deteriorated on your watch. Literally, the airlines were incredible. And then on Clinton's watch, in all of 2 weeks, the aviation system suddenly deteriorates. Thank you, Hillary Clinton. You imbecile.
She thinks people are stupid. She always has. When you think about elitist and elitist mindset, just look at the Hillary Clinton. That's all you need to know about the mind virus known as elitism.
You know, don't let them look down on you because you're young, are my words to Timothy. Now we're going to look at Secretary Sean Duffy's response to Hillary Clinton. He said, Madam Secretary, with all due respect, experienced Washington bureaucrats are the reason our nation's infrastructure is crumbling. You need to sit this one out. Very good.
Nice. And John, make sure you double your security, and good one.
And another tweet came up on youth. Who are these little boys and why are they in charge of our revolution? There's Alexander.
Holy shit. You guys even know this? There are some old looking young people. Holy crap. I had no idea these guys were this young. I have no idea these guys are this young. Did anybody know this? This is great.
Alexander Hamilton, 21 years old. Aaron Burr was 20 years old. James Monroe was 18 years old. James Madison, 25. And meanwhile, let's take a look at how Bill Clinton handled his interns compared to Elon Musk. Yeah, I remember those days with Monica under the desk.
We want to welcome more of you to come to support our work. It means the world to us, our family, but more than that.
That's
especially me.
It's Hillary, Bill, and Chelsea begging for money for the Clinton Foundation, which is tied deeply into USAID corruption. Here's Faxan over on X. $84 million of USAID went to the Clinton Foundation. He has all the arrows and all the stuff that shows how it was all long.
They're not immune from that, Hillary.
Under to them.
I always knew that foundation would come back to haunt them one day.
Please come be part of making that future better for everyone. We couldn't do
Remember when
the
they
work
ripped
that we
off
feel
Haiti?
so grateful to do without your support.
It's a giant scam. They're criminal, including human trafficking was done in their name, but their abuse is widespread and well known, mostly for the money. $4 billion. They went and said, we'll take care of Haitian starvation.
Oh, look at that, man. I love it when I see, man, base creators, we all think alike. Yeah, there you go. Finish it up, Doug.
Only 2% of it went to Haiti.
And we can do much
You
more.
did
and
good,
we should
Daisy.
do more.
Oh, yeah, there you go,
good.
Bill. It's not quite corruption until Bill Clinton comes in. Chelsea Clinton returned those 84 million taxpayer dollars. Now you see why Democrats don't want Elon Musk to pull the sheet off. Corruption everywhere. It's worse. This is back before Trump ran the first time, with Haiti saying, please look into the Clintons.
In 2010,
I showed this clip, man. Me and Doug, we are old school, man. We know about this stuff.
the earthquake of Haiti, not only American taxpayers, but the whole world has given billions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation for the Haitians. Not even 2% of that money went back to Haiti.
And that's the controversy. The Clintons went around the Clinton Foundation,
and they never paid it back
to the foundation. We will save Haiti starvation. They raised, it was $4.4 billion. Only 2% of it got to Haiti. Here he is.
Yep. And I brought that up. And I brought that up when they were doing the eating the dogs, eating the cats thing. I was like, and how fast the Haitians are. Remember that Donald Trump just went to bat for him in 2016. And they need to remember what's really important about this. You know, some of the worst people that come here and are not doing things right, or the fact that Trump's had their back in the past, and where it really counts, their home country, and the money that was stolen from them that was rightfully theirs, and it should be given back to them. We still should pay them back. In fact, the Clintons should pay them back with all their money. We should just go and sell all their shit and give it to Haiti. That's what I think.
Just talking to Trump.
So, Mr. Trump, we are asking you, begging you, the Haitian community will side with you if one day you ask Hillary Clinton publicly to disclose the audit
and he did it.
All the money that was stolen from Haiti in 2010 after the earthquake.
The debate clip.
Now, he didn't exactly ask her publicly, but this is one of those old roasts where he did bring it up to her.
Everyone knows, of course.
Doug missed it. Doug, by the way, if you're watching, I know you're a big fan. You're probably watching this. There is a debate question. They brought it up during a debate. He did use it as a jab at her during a debate. So if you go back and watch that, you'll find it. I can't remember which episode I showed this on, so I wouldn't even try to tell you to find it that way.
Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them.
Oh, shots fired. In Haiti, she took a number of villages. Now we're going to go back again to the Clinton Foundation. This clip has a great
that money might have made a big difference. Again, the corrupt establishment it's out to wreck the world so they can rebuild it on the backs of their new agenda, where they sit up top as stakeholders and we all suffer at the bottom with nothing, and we're supposed to be happy about it, right? So own nothing and be happy. That's the way Agenda 2030 is supposed to work out for us. Back then, it was actually Agenda 21, which we yelled and screamed about. We just didn't have enough people awake to make a difference back then. But we got there. We got there eventually. People eventually started coming around to it. It just had to start to hurt a little bit for them to realize that they needed to pay attention to it. And as time went on and more hypocrisy was exposed, more and more people came around to it and eventually found the information. Some people will tell you that 21 failed, and that's their opinion. I would say it just evolved and was pushed down the road because by 2016 we got roadblocks in there, and they also needed to optimize it and upgrade it a little bit to kind of better fit what they wanted to do now. Rolls out, there's things like that happen, and so our goal now is to stop it all the way, to end it. They're probably going to do the same thing. They're probably going to push it. If they can't, looks like they're not going to hit 2030, they'll push it down the road to like 20. They'll go 2045 or something like that. They'll try to kick it down the road a little bit. But what we want to do is end it for good. Say, this is never going to happen. You guys can stop. We do that by pulling the money out of the WEF and the UN and saying, look, enough of this globalist bullshit. Ain't happening. We ain't happening. We ain't having it. And we're done with you, man. So yeah, it's really sad what happened in Haiti, and they deserve to have that money back, and hopefully they get it back one day.
Pete Hegseth back on Fox News.
And Bill and Hillary Clinton also putting out their own statements against the president. But are they forgetting about allegations that the Clinton Foundation scammed funds from countries, poor countries like Haiti, for personal gain?
Joining us with his thoughts on this is President of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tom, thanks for being here this morning. So we know that the Clinton Foundation paid $3 million for Chelsea Clinton's wedding.
Now, this is the big scandal. So just when all this money comes in to help fund Haiti for a massive Haiti disaster, the Clintons use the Clinton Foundation money to pay for Chelsea Clinton's $1 million.
Thank you, Haiti. We'll let you guys work the bar and serve food.
Multi-million-dollar wedding.
But what do we know about, as far as details about what they did or did not do in Haiti?
Well, Chelsea Clinton's wedding was back in 2010, which was the year of the earthquake. And the allegation was that foundation resources were used for Clinton's wedding, Chelsea Clinton's wedding, which took place that year.
Same year, Same everything. That's not all, though. The scandals
They're
on the
so
Clinton
filthy,
Foundation are very
dirty,
well known and
nasty
public. Here's
people.
another USAID headline. Haiti and the failed promise of USAID. After an earthquake struck in 2010, the U.S. pledged to help rebuild the Caribbean country.
Oh,
a
no
decade
way.
later,
Daisy,
nothing
you've done good.
better symbolizes the failure of these efforts than the story of a new port that was promised but never built. Here's another one from X. Victor Bigham. Hillary is worried that Doge is going to start looking into her Clinton Foundation, which has many skeletons in the closet. The Clinton Foundation raked in millions from USAID. In 2010, USAID managed a $4.4 billion for Haiti under Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. There's Hillary down below, ripping on Elon Musk's team. Elon Musk is mounting a blitzkrieg-style administrative coup of the U.S. government, accessing and editing critical systems that manage everything from Social Security payments to private taxpayer info. Join indivisible team in D.C. today and to demand a stop to it. And of course, it's just going to raise more money.
Let me ask you, J. Michael Waller. There's a lot of talk about this being a slush fund for the CIA involved in running a shadow government. What do you make of those claims as someone who was so close to the CIA as an asset during the Cold War and then writing this book that really exposed a lot of what goes on inside the intelligence apparatus in D.C.?
Well, first of all, we might never know. In addition to working as an asset for the CIA in the early 80s in Central America, I was also a USAID subcontractor in Central America and in Russia following the Soviet collapse. And I can tell you that it's a mafia like you haven't seen before.
Okay, he calls it a mafia. This guy, now, to give him credibility, he worked for the CIA and worked as a contractor for USAID. And he describes them like a mafia you've never seen before.
And look, around here, we don't have to give J. Michael Waller credibility because he's already got it out the wazoo. Author of Big Intel, book that we've already read through. We bring him up all the time, and hopefully one day maybe we'll get him on the show. But he's got all the credibility in the world here. I guess Doug hadn't read the book yet, but we have.
They paddled a lot of everything. This was 40 years ago they were doing this, but at least in the 80s they were still an instrument of U.S. foreign policy. They were not a state within a state. They were not an operational intelligence organization against the American public. They were not nothing like it is today. But there has never been a single case of solid congressional oversight of USAID spending since it was founded in 1961.
When do you think it made the switch? When do you think it started to transform into what amounts to, it looks like, a slush fund for the globalist agenda?
This was a very clear break in the 1990s.
Now, what happened in the 1990s? Who became president that made this thing go from a mere mafia organization to a giant globalist slush fund to pay for trans operas in Colombia and $50 million to help push atheism in Nepal?
Because USAID was founded to wage the Cold War with soft power. And it was a very useful instrument that worked with every element of U.S. Power, including the CIA. But it wasn't a CIA front. That was a clear distinction under the law, under federal law. So if it ended up becoming a CIA front, it's a flagrant violation of federal law, and there's a lot of criminals out there who would be responsible for it. It really became a slush fund, sort of a ripoff operation in the 1990s during the Clinton administration, right after the Cold War.
The Clintons did it. That's why Hillary doesn't want these young autistic kids under Elon Musk to look in USAID. By the way, guys, this is nothing. I could do 100 videos right now on USAID. The facts are coming out too strong at massive, massive corruption. Yep. This is the biggest, so far in the Trump administration, the biggest exposure of U.S. corruption. We'll do more videos on this. I'll try and hit some other news for you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'm Doug in exile.
Oh, yeah. They came out swinging on that one, didn't they? Woo! They hit a home run out of the, that's a walk-off home run. What do they call it when you hit your first pitch, first hit is a home run, right? That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Great find there, Daisy Girl Williams. She gets a gold star for this evening. Okay, so now I want to go back over to this, and on the backs of that, this is a better leeway to segue to this right here, because when one corrupt individual, ideologically subverted agent of subversion, speaks, they all speak the same. And so let me cue this up. And let me make sure I got the speed I want right. No, we don't need to go that fast. Not for this one. All right. And so let's figure out who these people are that are working behind the scenes with Elon to let's see one of the guys that's going to be the undoing of the Clintons, hopefully. There we go.
No, we've become so smart. They're stupid to us.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh boy, do I have a video for you guys today. It's been hilarious and also truly pathetic watching the left scramble for new talking points. It's been one pathetic attempt after another, and well, today we've got the latest Trump derangement syndrome software update that leftoids are inserting in the rhetoric drive, and just when you thought it couldn't get any more pathetic, the Democrats always prove you wrong. The latest TDS chip has actually been updated, and the new version is no longer TDS, it's EDS, Elon Musk derangement syndrome. Yep, I read the patch notes, I read the code. The marching orders are clear. Just attack Elon Musk as much as possible. I don't know who this is supposed to convince, especially when it's coming from someone like the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who just went on the record claiming that Elon Musk is stupid. Yup, literal genius, richest man on the planet, the guy who's catching rocket ships, coming back into Earth's orbit with freaking chopsticks. Yeah, apparently that guy is stupid, according to the bartender who won an audition to get her position in power. You really can't make this stuff up. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on as the left continues to melt down and as they continue to scramble pathetically to get their new winning talking point. But actually, let me get ahead of this one. AOC, Democrats, I could already see the writing on the wall. This ain't it. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into. So let's roll the tape. Okay, so I guess we've officially seen it all. Elon Musk derangement syndrome, or Elon derangement syndrome, is hitting its peak. It started off with he's a threat to democracy. He's an apartheid-supporting white supremacist from South Africa. Oh, I can't even say this stuff without laughing. It's gone from all that, from panic and screaming, to now attacking Elon Musk as an idiot.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires.
Sandy, what would you say next, Sandy? Sandy is pregnant, evidently. You can tell. Things have changed.
Have ever met or seen or witnessed. They don't do their homework. Clearly, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is not smart. And the danger in
I mean, really, you have no business judging anybody's intelligence level, Sandy. Come on, Sandy.
In the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that
again, you have no. This is the girl who throws likes to throw rocks and throws bricks in glass houses, right? This is the girl that goes in there. You're like, don't throw any bricks in here. This is a glass house. She's like, okay, right? That's her.
Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these.
Oh, Sandy, what will you say next?
Systems that we really know of.
Now, my apologies, because I know that was hard to watch, but let's entertain it for a second. What exactly is AOC saying here? It took a while.
Hey, you know what I'm saying, man? We're all counting on you out there, man. So please hit the thumbs up, follow, like, subscribe. Hey, ring the bell no matter what you do so you get the notifications when we're going live. We do 5 base streams a week. We got tons of cool stuff, at least five. Tons of cool stuff already done down in the browse to the playlist, the content. It's all there, man. A lot of cool stuff out there. Check it out. See what winning reality is all about. Join the winner circle. Be part of the solution. Love to see you here. Come hang out with us. We'll have a great time. And off we go.
For her to make an actual point, it was really just a minute of declarative statements. Elon Musk is X because I said so. Oh, he's so dumb. Oh, Elon Musk is really stupid. As if that carries weight coming from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And so they go out.
See, that's Sandy unpregnant.
Need to feed their child, and they don't have money.
This is Sandy pre sperm right here.
So you maybe have to, they're put in a position where they feel like they either need to shoplift some bread or go hungry that night. When people ask me, what does a world where we defund the police, where, defunding police looks like, I tell them it looks like a suburb. Our current leadership was appointed. Yep. It was not elected.
Excuse me.
Well, you mean like your last nominee?
Sir, RICO is not a crime. It is a category.
Yeah, not exactly sure if I trust AOC's judgment.
See the difference? You see the difference? Either that or she's getting her she's getting some weight. She's molding into her final form.
when it comes to quantifying people's intelligence, but eventually she did make a point. She essentially said that Elon Musk is dumb because he hired a bunch of 19 to 24-year-old kids to audit the treasury. Oh, what a dummy. First of all, I'd say that's quite hypocritical, considering AOC is always going on and on about the young people being the future of the country and empowering young voters. You know, kind of hypocritical for AOC, the champion of young people, to just instantly dismiss a group of people because of their age. But hypocrisy aside, her argument is trash. You know, if Elon Musk was hiring a bunch of 19-year-old frat dudes who are spending their time at Doge blasting a bunch of degenerate music, smoking weed, and drinking liquor, I'd understand the claim. But these young people that she's claiming Elon Musk is an idiot for hiring, well, let's just say she doesn't even
tempt these guys with sex. I know they are.
Hold a candle to them. In fact, one of the young software engineers that Elon Musk hired that AOC is dismissing is a college student by the name of Luke Ferrator. And this young brilliant kid actually
I'm trying to do my work. Please leave me alone. Don't you want to touch my boob, Luke? Like, can you see them trying to honeypot this kid? You ever seen a grown woman naked, Luke?
Decoded a 2,000-year-old Greek scroll buried in Mount Vesuvius by using his in-depth knowledge of AI and machine learning. He's the one who's spearheading Musk's Doge initiative to reduce government waste. And actually, there was a small documentary done on the kid.
So I've always been interested in history. Growing up, I learned Latin. I was never that good at it, but I was always kind of into that sort of stuff, read a lot about the Roman Empire and things. And one day I was just listening to a podcast back in March. It was with Nat Friedman. He just kind of got on the podcast, explained like there are these burnt up scrolls that were buried in the Pompeii eruption. No one knows how to read them. But some professors have created CT scans of these scrolls, and they uploaded the data on the internet as a competition to see who could find writing inside of these scrolls. And when I heard that, I was just immediately like, oh my goodness, this is such a cool project. I have to work on this. A word that has meaning. This would not be possible without modern AI. Now we're reading entire paragraphs from the scrolls, and hopefully we'll be able to read the entire book and read the hundreds of other books that were buried in this condition as well. When we found this...
Do you understand what happened here? Burned up scrolls, they were wrapped up scrolls. They weren't just all laying out. They were wrapped up and burnt. And this kid somehow figured out a way to decipher them. I mean, dude. I just see Sandy try to do that, or Hillary Clinton. They got teenagers in there. They've never even touched a boob before.
First word, we went public with it, and I think everyone has been very pleasantly surprised by the amount of attention it's gotten.
Yeah, it turns out that young kid that supposedly Elon Musk is an idiot for hiring is some sort of super genius. Oh, the irony here. I mean, the irony of AOC calling anybody else dumb is just off the charts. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the former bartender, is saying that
Sandy, what will you say next?
Elon Musk, the richest man on earth who literally runs multiple world-changing companies, is dumb and doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, come on. This is Elon Musk, the guy who put together a massively powerful GPU farm to run his latest AI project. He put the whole thing together in 19 days. Even the CEO of NVIDIA couldn't even believe it.
Building a massive factory, liquid-cooled, energized, permitted, in the short time that was done.
NVIDIA, man, they're the reason we have AI.
That is like superhuman. And as far as I know, there's only one person in the world who could do that. I mean, Elon is singular in his understanding of engineering and construction and large systems and marshaling resources. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What level of low will these Democrats not stoop to? But in the end, it's obvious what they're doing. It's the same thing they're doing with the USAID issue. Elon Musk is a fascist, or Elon Musk is an idiot. Everything's going to fall apart because of what's happening. It's just a bunch of empty fear mongering because they so desperately want to avoid the truth. It's obvious that Elon Musk is onto something. It's obvious that Democrats are trying very desperately to hide something. Basically, they just don't want the taxpayer-funded slush fund to stop, and so they're resorting to these cheap ad hominem attacks. How utterly pathetic. But obviously, it won't change anything. Elon Musk knows exactly what he's doing, and I guarantee you, with a handful of super genius computer whizzes, they're going to find everything. They're going to do a full audit. They're going to expose all the bloat, all the corruption, and of course, they're going to do it ahead of schedule and under budget. Something the leftist brain can't fathom, can't wrap their head around. Because of course, if they were to do an audit of government, first of all, it probably wouldn't end. It would cost $1 trillion frickin' dollars, and they'd find no evidence of any wrongdoing or any wasteful spending. It'd be just a bunch of bureaucrats laundering more money and protecting the bureaucratic machine. Elon Musk isn't dumb. He's running circles around you guys. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right. So that's one of the guys. That's one of the guys right there. That's one of them. One of them, Hillary and Sandy are complaining about. And lockstep. Oh boy, I can't wait for the Clintons to get back involved in this. And oh boy, Trump's been waiting. Like, look, you did some she did some very bad things. Some people would say the worst. Yeah. So here we go, guys. Get ready for the spice to fly in the next two videos I got for you. Where are we at? I might save the Jeff Alstoff stuff for tomorrow night. I might do a special show tomorrow night. Friday edition. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we can get through it. Okay, but we got to do this one. I think Tim did a great job on this video. It's probably one of the better ones I've seen from him lately. And this talks about exactly the theme of this evening. Watch this. And the end part is the real thing. It's like Democrats are leaving over this USAID stuff. So we're seeing some blowback happening in the party itself as it's collapsing, and some people getting furious, and people with a voice, a platform, getting furious and speaking out. So the more this stuff erupts, it's just kind of proving the point that the more this stuff erupts, the louder it's going to get, and the more blowback is going to happen from it, I think.
A major scandal across the country over the past week, with USAID funding being exposed, going to weird DEI programs, media efforts around the world to craft what some call a pseudo-reality. And the American people are sick of it. Donald Trump won the popular vote. He won a mandate. Elon Musk was always a part of those plans. That's why Doge existed well before Donald Trump won. It's also why in December, we saw some of the highest Army recruiting numbers in over a decade, and January in over 15 years. Because when Trump won, faith was getting restored in this country for so many people. And now what are we seeing? With the RFK Jr. hearing, I saw a ton, and it's anecdotal, but there's a lot of it, a ton of hippy-dippy liberal types saying they were quitting the party. They have had enough. Where are we today, my friends? Democrats are in trouble, says the Washington Post. Tim Ryan is roasting the Democratic Party. Chuck Schumer looks like a lunatic. Guys, I'm looking at everything going on, and it feels to me like I refer to this as Donald Trump's march to the sea.
There you go.
Someone on the Timcast Uncensored show last night, become a member, by the way, said that Trump's 3 elections, very much so, are the Star Wars trilogy. A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Orange Man. And in this regard, Donald Trump has defeated the deep state, it would appear. And with the moves being made against USAID, the corporate press, the Democratic Party, the FBI, the CIA, the gutting of the bureaucracy, over 40,000 individuals working for the federal government are expected to resign. Donald Trump is going scorched earth on the administrative state. It's crazy. The Democratic Party has nothing to offer. And I'm actually kind of shocked by this. The Democratic Party, we all know, has long just been a whatever Trump does, it's wrong party. But there was some argument there, right? That was the idea was if Trump said
he did. He's married and has a kid on the way. And he said the exact same thing I told him a few years back, about 2-3 years ago. I said, you better hurry up and get married and have a kid, because if you wait too late, as soon as you have one, you're going to wish you had more time. You'll hear it.
We should have the Abraham Accords. The response we'd get from Democrats is, this is going to lead to more turmoil. You're undercutting the Palestinians. It's a bad move. Trump's making a mistake. Donald Trump would say something like, I'm going to deregulate the oil industry. And they'd say, no, you can't do that because we have environmental protections and you don't care about climate change. There was some kind of political argument. Well, now they got a problem. Donald Trump goes, I'm going to deport this guy who raped a woman. And the Democrats, no, you can't do that because, and what do we see? Regular working class people who've long been Democrat go, wait, hold on. Like, that guy's a murderer and a rapist, and he should be deported. Why are you defending him? There have been a few viral posts where either Democrats or individuals shared messages from their friends who are liberals, where they're saying things like, that's it, I'm done. I got one of them for you. I got one of the videos, a guy renouncing the Democratic Party. RFK Jr. was massive. RFK Jr., he's a liberal. He's an environmentalist. He is friends with many Democrats, and they all knifed him in the back. Why? Look, 10 years ago, it was all of my liberal friends, and it always has been, who have been going like, dude, Monsanto and like these big pharmaceutical companies are doing things with pesticides. You know what I'm talking about? My hippie did.
No. That's not true, but maybe it was just him. But no, it wasn't just them. Maybe just his friends said that. But the truth of the matter is, it was always been a big push on the anti-establishment side of the Ron Paul revolution. We were for all these things that he's talking about, and I guarantee you, it's not a bunch of hippie dippies.
hippie liberal vegan friends being like, I don't know, man, I just don't trust big pharma. And now what do we have? Bernie Sanders, the
He makes
single
a great point
largest
here.
recipient of big pharma dollars. No, but I didn't get money from the CEOs. I don't care about the dozen plus CEOs giving you money. I want to know why, Bernie, that the employees of these companies want to give you so much. No, please.
Where's the
You can
money,
come and say
Bernie?
it's because they've seen the inside. They know how bad it is. Well, I don't think these people working at these companies would want to lose their jobs. Could it be, Bernie, that your plans for a single payer system would create locked in government contracts guaranteeing that?
And just remember, Tim was a big Bernie backer at one point. Now he's behind Team Trump. So this is a guy who evolves as he learns the truth. You know, not afraid to humble himself and better himself. That's why we can have our disagreements on certain things here and there. He tends to catch up eventually. So that's why I've always seen in Tim, and that's why I liked him. That's why I continue to look at his stuff, because it's really good. And like you're saying, yeah, it may have just been his experience. You know, like I said, his experience. You know, I mean, for what it's worth, when I was out there saying the same things, I was hanging out with a bunch of hippy-dippy people, and some of them listened, but not, some of them did. But most of them are just establishment knee benders.
The jobs and revenue of that industry ad infinitum, perhaps. Bernie Sanders turns on RFK Jr., votes against him. I saw a ton of people after the RFK Jr. hearing who are liberal, who are Democrat, being like, that's it, I'm done. Democrats, many of them have concerns about pesticides and phthalates and PCBs and chemicals. And I'm sitting here talking with Sam Cedar of the Majority Report. I'm sure he's flip-flopped by now, but he's saying we should be regulating these things. He said to me, I agree with him. He said, is there any substance we regulate that you think becomes healthy after a certain amount of time? I was like, no, I agree with you. We should regulate that stuff. Like I was like, I think we should have more. When there are chemicals leached into our food and it's poisoning us, regulate those. Don't let, I agree with that. RFK Jr. comes out and says, I'd like to regulate these chemicals and keep them out of our foods. And the Democrats are like, no, we vote against it. And now we're seeing the backlash. Democrats are in trouble, my friends. Let's read this. I want to show you a video. I want to show you the polling. I don't know where we go from here, but I do not understand how Democrats recover. I can speculate, whatever, but I don't know. Before we do, my friends, head over.
All right, you know what? I just realized something. I'm going to skip ahead to the good part here, but I just realized something. I can get my Hillary for Prison shirt back out. It actually might trend again. We should re-release the Hillary for Prison shirts and put USAID on it. Would you guys wear a Hillary for Prison shirt? I got to think of a clever way to incorporate USAID in it in Haiti. I don't know. Hillary for Prison shirt was a smoker, man. That everybody had one of those, man. I was wearing that everywhere. People were like, yeah.
Analysis offers ideas to repair the party. Oh, yeah? Well, I got this video. Tim Ryan.
Watch this.
Let me play the video of Schumer for you first, because you can draw your own.
I'm seeing off camera because Tim doesn't know what dark mode is yet. He'll get there eventually. So I pop in and out during his segments a lot of times.
Conclusions, and then I'll show you what Tim Ryan has to say. Oh, this poor Democrat. Here you go.
I'm going to stand with you in.
Okay, is that too
Yes,
loud?
it's loud.
I'm going to turn that down.
I'm going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win. We will win.
I mean, look at this. Look at the cast of characters that are right here. Okay, let's take a look at them real quick. You got Al Green, the guy who's following the stupid dastardly deeds impeachment. You got Maxine Dirty Waters over here. We're going to go out there and we're going to riot. It's going to be all right. And then you got Chuck Schumer. I mean, is this the team you want to be on right here? Does this make you feel good about your team, guys? You establishment knee benders, you useful idiots. Look at your team. This is your team. This is what you guys are right here. We got it. We got Elon Musk. We got RFK Jr. We got Tulsi Gabbard. We got Donald Trump. We got Vivek Ramaswamy. This is your team. This is the loser team.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Look at who let the white guy lead the chant, man. I mean, this is definitely white supremacy at its best right here, right?
We won't rest. Thank you, everybody.
That's it, my friends. Chuck. That is what is left of the Democratic Party. Tim
so
Ryan says, I just don't even know what to say anymore when I see this kind of stuff. Is it Saturday Night Live or real life? Does anyone really think this is the future of the country? This is the only alternative to Trump's America. It's just so depressing.
Oh, it's so depressing.
What's wrong with Trump's America?
Yeah, what's
Answer
wrong with
me
it?
this, man. The millennials, the Ron Paul generation, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
Ron Paul supporters, but those of us who were on the internet during the Ron Paul love revolution. It is,
Why would you not say the Ron Paul supporters slap? Why? Because you were down at Occupy?
It's amazing. Trump is gutting the deep state, the bureaucratic state, the administrative state, and this is the only thing they have left. It is the march to the sea. It is
Maybe he just,
Scorched earth.
maybe he's meant legacy Ron Paul people and not the today's Libertarian Party. He might be still thinking there's a lot of people down. I mean, Ron Paul is a hero in the Libertarian Party still as well. Whatever, doesn't matter. Like I said, we don't have to agree on everything.
Take a look at this. From Civics, favorability among Democrats spiked just before the election. Don't know why. And now it's dropped to 35% in aggregate. That is not the lowest it's been, according to Civics, but it's near the lowest. 35% favorability, 57% unfavorability. Of course, we've seen the polls showing that when the latest polls come out shows them at 31% favorability, the lowest it has ever been.
USAID stuff.
And Josie, the redheaded libertarian, says, "I've not seen Democrats this angry since we took away their slaves." Wow,
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Indeed, my friends. Indeed. This is where we're at. I got another video for you. Now, this man,
This is it.
Isaiah L. Carter, says, "I hereby renounce the Democratic Party." And he's got some, he cusses a little bit. He's very angry, but this video is going massively viral. Let me make sure it's not too loud. And then take a listen to what this man has to say.
This fucking political party, the Democratic Party, have lied to us about everything. They've lied about being the party of the middle class. They've lied about being the party of peace. They've lied about being the party that wants to help poor people. Okay? What the last several weeks have proven to us all is that this is a cadre of criminals and losers and spoiled children of affluent parents who were more concerned about looking good than actually doing good. These are people who are more concerned about looking like they were doing something for the American people than actually doing things for the American people. And that's why I'm so angry. Because this party lied to me while stealing my tax dollars.
Yep.
The Democratic Party lied to us all while they brought in millions of.
This is what waking up looks like. This is why they off their useful idiots once they get in power, because once they figure out what they've been had, they become their most lethal enemies. Welcome to the team, dude.
Illegal immigrants for their own political purposes for the last 4 years. 20 to 30 million illegal aliens brought in.
Well, the number keeps going up. I don't know if it's that high. I think the estimates are between 11 and 20 million, but sir.
It's up there, dude.
Continue.
And now we come to USAID being probably the largest money laundering operation in American history. Congratulations, Dems. You've outdone even Bernie Madoff. I'm disgusted beyond words. Disgusted with the waste of money.
Yep.
Disgusted with the waste, with the fraud. With the way that you people use color legitimacy and the way you use black people as fucking mules to get us to push whatever fucking agenda you wanted to.
Welcome to the wide world. He took the red pill. He is now seeing the world for what it truly is.
The amount of division you used black people to sow upon the American people, you use us for that. And I will never, ever forgive this political party. The shit that I've gone through personally. Y'all were supposed to be the party of free speech, the party of women's rights.
They're the party of mind control and subversion. So we'll teach you about that. Come on down.
Immolated all of those things. And then, as if enough weren't enough, you then decide that you're going to die on the hill of USAID, a government audit. You're trying to prevent a government audit because some of you really are trying to stay out of prison.
Hillary.
Wow. We see the game now. Y'all been out here telling us that the game was rigged against certain people. Well, now we found out who the people that were rigging the game were. Congratulations. Y'all are never going to win another political race ever again. Not if I can help it.
It's just so wild. Bravo, sir. Isaiah L. Carter. Who's this man? This guy. He follows me. Baltimore-born, NYC made wrong thinker. Bravo. He hit it so succinctly. USAID. First of all, I love the word immolate.
13.2 million
It's a great choice of words,
views.
sir. And it's an audit. This is what we're looking at. It's an audit of USAID's funding, money being sent to liberal, leftist, woke nonprofits, paying massive salaries to these executive board members and executive staff so they can live like kings and do nothing. And he nailed it. When Elon Musk walks in and says, we want to get a handle on the finances at USAID, well, the Democrats lose their minds. They say, how dare you? Yeah. Turns out Elon Musk struck a nerve. Literally. He found out, he knew where the money was coming from and where the money was going, and Democrats have never been so angry. Yeah. It's fascinating. They it's absolutely fascinating. Donald Trump can do so much, and he has, and they say bad things about him. But the targeting of USAID has them all of a sudden coming out saying, help, they're staging a coup, it's a revolution, Elon Musk is breaking the law. It's nuts how hard against this they're going.
How are you going to do it?
But let me wrap it up the way our good friend Isaiah did. We are looking at an audit of a department, the U.S. Agency for International Development, an audit on how they're spending money. Marco Rubio is now reported as telling foreign allies and partners, we're not shutting it down, but we have to end programs that we cannot defend. That's what's happening. My friends, all of you sitting at home, I want you to understand this. USAID has had no accountability, has been dumping and sending money wherever they feel like. Elon Musk said they found out the Treasury Department was instructed to approve of all expenditures, no matter what, never deny an invoice.
Never deny an invoice.
They were just sucking tax dollars out of it. It was an extraction. It was an extraction. Democrats got caught. And don't get me wrong. It's not just Democrats, but since Trump got elected in 2016, the establishment conservative base has been largely routed, with many of these neocons joining the Democrats. And we can see the machine they had in play for kickbacks and funneling money into their own pockets and the pockets of their allies that live in Loudoun County, Virginia. And this is all the Democratic Party has left.
It's because they weren't really Republicans to begin with, right?
It's the deep state, my friends. You know, the way I was thinking about it, as I just said, the neocon establishment Republicans were bad too, but Trump defeated them first. And the party was in chaos. Many of these Republicans joined the Liz Cheney, right? Adam Kinzinger.
The Bushes. Rumsfeld. You got everybody, all of them. They're all gone. They're all over there now. Say them all.
They're your examples. These are machine state supporters. Now, with this latest election, Trump's going scorched earth and marching to the sea, as it were. He is destroying these institutions and gutting their ability to fight back. I don't know how Democrats recover from this. We've explained that Donald Trump has 16 months, maybe, because once the midterm cycle begins, squishy Republicans are going to be too afraid to do anything backing Trump's agenda. Because if they do, if they side with Trump, they're afraid that their moderate districts will swing the other way. But you just saw Isaiah. Look, I'm hearing more and more. The RFK Jr. hearing was a wake-up call. This man was a Democrat who wanted to run on the Democratic Party ticket, and they blocked him. He went to Trump and said, let's make a deal. And Trump, a man of his word, held that deal. He held up to that deal. He said, RFK Jr., you're in.
Cynthia, here's the easiest way to debunk that for your friend. Hitler was a Marxist. Trump is not. He's the opposite. You know? So really clearly, they're not on the same path at all. And the first thing Hitler did when he got into office was pass universal health care. That's what Obama did. So, yeah, they're trying to do the whole thing, and just tell your friend you're willing to make a bet and that you're going to come. She's going to have to pay up in 4 years. But if she wants to listen, you could talk some sense to her by explaining to her that, you know, as Trump has stated many, many times, and as he's now undoing the funding for it, he's very much against Marxism, and while Hitler was very much for it. So there really is no really logical or truthful connections between Trump and Hitler on any level. It's just always a slammer campaign. So tear him up. Get some money.
RFK Jr. respectfully says, I
serve some money in the bet.
Meaning he's going to hold back some of the things he wants so that he can deliver what Trump and RFK Jr. agree upon. Even Cenk Uygur was saying this. And I agree. We may see the world very differently, left and right. But if we all agree we have a problem in the healthcare industry or with foreign spending, we all agree, well then, it's actually quite simple. Let's get the victories we agree on because there's no reason to hold those back. And then we'll debate and argue the other stuff. RFK Jr. delivered that. And the Democratic Party unanimously opposed RFK Jr. Why? He's an anti-vaxxer. He's dangerous. Bernie Sanders, the single largest recipient of big pharma dollars, wants to come out. Man, talk about
Bernie Sanders, the single largest receiver of big pharma dollars. How about that? The old communist himself, the old subversive Marxist himself, is scraping in those big bucks from the billionaires.
out. Evil. I despise Bernie Sanders.
That you see, he was gonna back. He was behind Bernie Sanders at one time. This is how far he's come. This is why Tim's okay. He's good in my book, man. No matter where he's out on his journey, what he does, how he, the mistakes he makes, he always comes back around, and he tends to, and come out. He gets it eventually. And like I said, I started watching him before he even got behind Trump. I was like, this guy will be on our side before it's over. I knew he would.
Despise Bernie Sanders. I did not receive money from CEOs. That's the lie. Did you guys know that when Bernie Sanders became a millionaire, because he did, he stopped saying the millionaires? You see, Bernie used to go out rallies.
We know that.
Now, Bernie, who made just over $1 million off his book, was now a millionaire. I got no problem, my friend, saying the millionaires and the billionaires. But truth be told, I don't think
He's
it's
a
the
millionaire
millionaires and the
too,
billionaires. Elon Musk's a
obviously.
billionaire. He's a smart guy. He's doing pretty well. Did you guys hear? They put out this
I
report.
want to be a millionaire.
X, when Elon bought X, the revenue may have gone down, but he doubled their earnings after. What is it? It's complicated, but basically,
Probably like another
he
10
doubled
minutes.
their earnings
Wolfram.
and more than doubled their margins. Very
We just
profitable.
crossed 3 hours.
And all of the lenders who put in on this
Oh, it's
are
only
excited.
10:30. We're good.
Look at that. They attack him. And he's a billionaire and he's doing good work. What is Elon doing right now? Auditing mass spending from the government. Democrats do not have anything to run on. I don't understand where they're going to go. Look at this. Democrats hammered by ugly unpopularity numbers. A major spike in their unpopularity. And I'm going to tell you why. Look at this. NPR says, after major 2024 defeats, the Democratic Party searches for a new direction. From the Washington Post, Democrats focus on Elon Musk as they search for a message to fight Trump. They've got nothing.
They got nothing.
They got nothing. Hands off our money. Look at this. Look at this. You know what I really love? I love this one right here from MSNBC. Trump
It's only
gravely
10:30.
miscalculates how much Americans care about USAID
Only
as
10:30.
backlash strengthens. These swamp monsters. Look at Rachel Maddow. She is disgusting.
Yes.
Americans don't care about USAID. You want to make a bet? I will make a bet.
Mhm.
How much you want to bet? I send a camera crew, New York, LA, DC. Let's go Miami. Let's go Houston.
Atlanta.
Let's send a camera guy to each downtown area, Nashville, and ask people, do you have a positive,
Listen to the
negative,
wolf,
or
y'all.
neutral
Here's
view
what
of
he's talking
USAID?
about.
And you know what people are going to say? What's that?
What's that, Sandy?
Rachel Maddow claiming there's a backlash against it. This is hilarious. This is the thing about Democrats and why they're failing. Rachel Maddow trying to come out and be like, Americans actually love USAID. Don't you? We have staff here, and they're talking about how their woke family members are like, I am shocked that Trump is gutting USAID. And it's like, bro, you didn't even know it existed until last week. You don't care. So I'll shout at Isaiah again.
Yep.
This was an audit. How are you spending our tax dollars? And you actually have the likes of Rachel Maddow and the Democratic Party being like, how dare you stop the wasteful spending on a gender play in Peru or pottery lessons in Morocco or the spread of atheism in Pakistan. What? Yep. Not to mention, 8% of BBC Media Action was funded by USAID. Why
the
do we care
hell,
about that?
man?
Do you think Americans? I'll tell you this. I got a plan. I got a pitch. Trump should come out and say, we are going to take all of the money that USAID spends, all of it, and we're going to divide it up and give every American a piece, which probably means they're each going to get like, I don't know. Let me do some quick math. It's going to be maybe $100. Would it really be like $100? Yeah, I think it would. Might be $200. Here's what we can do. We can keep USAID, or you can have $200.
Well, every person who voted for Trump should get the money. Screw the useful idiots. They get nothing.
What do you think the American people are going to say to that? They're going to say, I'll take it. Actually, yeah. So I think, what do we have? I think they may have around like 60 billion in spending. It might be more than that. And then we've got 340 million people. So is that
Sounds good to me.
Like $200? Am I doing my math wrong? Maybe I'm doing my math wrong. I don't know. Whatever.
Doesn't
Off the top of my
matter.
head. I'm gonna wrap it up there,
Time's
my
up.
friends.
Thank you
We
so
got a lot
much,
more going
Tim. Good report. Good report. Good stuff. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I do have to end up with this guy. Okay, so South Africa and the DC plane Black Hawk crash thing. I think it'll be tomorrow night because I really don't like going over 3 hours, but I got to do one more to make
Congressman
this
Pete
night
Aguilar,
complete.
who is the number 3 House Democrat, was asked yesterday about your impeachment.
This guy should what kind of drugs is this guy on? I mean, the dastardly deeds impeachment. Did you guys know that dastardly deeds is an impeachable offense? If he doing dastardly deeds.
Offer, and he said it's not a focus of the caucus. Your response?
Well, I think he's right. I don't differ with him. By the way, he's a good
Al
man.
Green?
I don't differ with him. It's not a focus now.
He's a knockoff.
But the impeachment, the march toward impeachment started yesterday. I laid the foundation for impeachment when President Trump was first elected. Filed 3 articles of impeachment, and the last one had 99 members of Congress on it.
That means nothing.
It was approaching half of the Democratic caucus. Speaker Pelosi did a prudent thing. She said, let's move forward with it. So we laid the foundation for it then.
Really? Pelosi did? Really? I can't believe that.
We're laying the foundation for it now. And I will bring articles of impeachment. Let me look into the camera. I will bring articles of impeachment. Now, what the House will do.
And they will fail. Look at me. Look at I'm going to look right at you. And they will fail.
I have no way of prognosticating, but be assured.
You can have ways of wasting everybody's time and money.
Boy. So we got to talk about the Democrat
We're just doing a
Party,
couple minutes of this. That's all.
a party that is in a state of free fall right now.
Let's hear his
due
opinion
to
on
the
it.
fact that they have absolutely
Stupidest
nothing
thing.
to offer this country, the American people, outside of Trump derangement and race hustling. 2 things that are not beneficial towards the American people. That's all they have to offer. Okay, that's all they got. So with that being said, due to the fact that they are now desperate to fight back against Trump, which is the first mistake. They think they need to fight back against Trump instead of, trying to work with President Trump on the things that the American people agree with. No. They've decided that they're already going to start the impeachment witch hunt, right? They're already going to start trying to impeach the president. And the Democrat that is leading the impeachment movement against Trump is Mr. Al Green from Houston, Texas, a Trump deranged, race hustling Democrat who looks like he just climbed out of a cave, bro. This is the type of dude that you definitely do not want to sit next to on a plane. Bro look like Homo erectus, bro. This guy, Homo erectus. So anyways, this guy, he is promising to file articles of impeachment against President Trump. Now, for what reason? He don't even know, bro. He's just doing it because he's trying to fundraise. Okay, this is a grift, right? What they're doing is that they're talking about impeaching Trump already, even though they don't have any solid reasons to do so. And Republican callers on C-SPAN decided to give Mr. Al Green a brutal reality check on this impeachment process that he's trying to lead, because it is a total and complete waste of time. Take a look.
When people see these signs, I assure you, the pressure is going to be on Congress to do something.
Really?
Impeachment doesn't mean that he will be removed from office, but it will say to the country that this is what we stand for.
It'll say what you stand for.
The protests don't have a plan. Well, the plan is here. This is the plan. Protest, complain now, impeach later.
Let's get to calls because the lines have lit up. Richard in Savannah, Georgia, Republican. You're up first, Richard.
Thank you. I watched you yesterday with the Democrat Party out protesting everything that Elon Musk is trying to do for the American people. The USAID is a 100% a money laundering scheme around the world, kickbacks back to the Democrat Party, whether it's through the Clinton Foundation in Haiti, $4.4 billion, and $84 million went to her daughter, Chelsea Clinton. All y'all have is impeachments and race and gender, et cetera, and you actually do nothing for the people of America today. I think the Democrats should sit back and let America see what it's like to reduce the people in government, the wasteful spending, And all y'all can do is just complain and be negative, and we're sick of it.
Yes, this dude is absolutely 100% correct. Okay, we are sick of it. All they can do is complain and be negative. Okay, that's all we're getting for Democrats. Just tears. All they're doing is crying. They're crying over everything, even things where it doesn't make sense to cry over. Right? They're still crying about it, and we're getting tired of it. Right? We're getting tired of the tears. Don't get me wrong. I love the tears, but at some point, I'm gonna get too drunk off of the tears.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just saying, we've had more tears.
You start drunk, you start tripping off those
I can
tears.
recall it in the last 8 years, right? I have never seen Democrats cry so much. It's exhausting. It is exhausting. And what is clear to the American people is that their priorities are out of line, right? Your priorities are out of line.
Keep the pressure on because they have no defense right now.
Overwhelmingly
they got
approve
no
of
defense.
President Trump.
This is a very different Donald Trump. He's leading a very different administration, the way he's attacking things. And the American public is very much more in line with him than they were at any point during his entire first term.
Well, I would say, correction, this is not a very different Donald Trump. This is a very different Donald Trump as being viewed by voters in this
in the
moment.
way he's going about things with Susan Wiles leading things. I think he is, going at things in a much less disorganized fashion, much more organized.
Take me back in history.
Take you back in history. So it was so interesting to me that Donald Trump's first net approval rating of his second term is higher than his entire first term. And I was interested, has that ever happened? Has the second term net approval rating in the first month, have you ever had a higher rating than any net approval rating during the entire first term? Donald Trump is the only.
I have a really hard time believing this.
This is 100%. I went back. I love spreadsheets. Donald Trump's is the first guy ever whose net approval rating in the first month of his second term is higher than any rating that he had as an entire.
I don't like it because I have TDS. It's cognitive dissonance. This should be happening.
First term, Kate Baldwin. This is true. I don't make stuff up. The numbers are the numbers.
Get with it.
I believe you in nothing except when you have it in the wall. And then I believe everything you say.
That's exactly right.
Which is why
he's describing what is currently the dumbest strategy in politics, which is Democrats taking the 20% side of every 80-20 issue in America. USAID, people want this pared down. They want it streamlined. They want to know where the money is going. Democrats have a meltdown. Today, Donald Trump signs executive order on keeping boys out of girls' sports. Democrats take the 20 side of that issue as well. All these issues, this is like Trump's superpower, finding a bunch of 80-20 issues, getting on the 80, and everybody who's sort of reflexively against him gets on the 20. And now the Democratic Party has like a 31% approval rating. This is why.
Facts. That's exactly why. That's exactly why. It doesn't matter what the issue is. Democrats reflexively are just, you know what? If Trump agrees with it, we disagree with it, right? It doesn't matter what it is. That's what they do. And as long as that's the mentality of the Democrat Party, if they are going to embrace Trump derangement as the number one selling point, they are going to lose. Okay, it does not work anymore. What they actually should be focused on in the case of Mr. Al Green is key issues that
shut up, CNN. You are fake news. You can't see it on this side because it doesn't show up in my StreamYards. But thank you, and thank you for pointing that out to me, Jacob. I wouldn't have seen that otherwise. Anunnaki, the one. Thank you so much for the $20 rumble rant. I think you set a record right there, brother. Shut up, CNN. You are fake news, and for that, you get the very, very special thank you. Thank you for the $20 Rumble rant. I gotta make one for Rumble rants. Thank you so much. Let me get up here. Thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate that. Coming in, swinging on a vine like Tarzan, dude. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that very much, and great to see you, man. Great to see you.
American people are concerned about in their own damn districts, right? Because apparently Al Green's district in Houston is a very poverty-stricken district that, again, he seems not to be concerned about, but he's concerned about President Trump and what's going on in the White House instead of his own people.
I think he is unfit. I don't think that he is the proper person to have liberty and justice for all in the palms of his hands because he doesn't.
This is
seem
the guy
to
who
care
filed
for all.
impeachment.
He cares a great deal for the
dastardly
plutocracy,
deeds.
the plutocrats. He surrounds himself with billionaires, and they seem to believe that the rich need more to do more, meaning the billionaire class, and that the poor can do more with less. These, honestly, they
Isn't that what Agenda 2030 wants, the people that you're working for?
the government of the United States as a tool to acquire greater wealth than what they already have. The president himself, with this meme that he came out with, has made just an untold amount of money. And doing that as he is president of the United States. Is this what we want in a president? So I don't have a high opinion of him in terms of what he does. I do have a deep abiding affinity for his humanity. His humanity is important to me, and I respect his humanity, but his behavior is just unacceptable, and he needs to leave office.
Chuck is a Republican in Syracuse, New York. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I find it very disappointing that Mr. Green is going to waste time on another impeachment effort. He is on the financial committee there. I saw just 6 months ago, Houston Chronicle has an article. Houston poverty rates the highest among major U.S. metros, data shows. If you go onto Google and you go into like the Fifth Ward, and you go to some of these neighborhoods that Mr. Green represents, you see people who are selling drugs, selling sex, suffering, and Mr. Green is chasing after headlines. The same goes for AOC, who's up there chasing headlines and trying to get her face on TV. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you go into her district, who's she representing? Herself or her district? And yesterday you had Mr. Cohen, Congressman Cohen on
Chuck, Chuck, let's have the congressman respond to what you just said about his district and where his focus should be.
Thank you for your call, Chuck. I greatly appreciate it. By the way, those conditions that you have brought to our attention, they are all over this country. There are pockets all over the country where these things are in place. And I don't want to end it just in my congressional district. I want to end them all over the country, which is why I have been at the forefront of fighting against these poverty issues that we have to confront. And I'm going to continue to do that. But that doesn't mean that I can't do other things as well.
It does.
It is not unusual for people who don't want you to do something to try to distract you by saying you should be doing something else. But there are many other things that I maybe can do at some point in my life. But this is the focus that I believe is important for my country, not for Al Green. I'm not trying to make headlines. We're making headway as it relates to an unfit president who should not be in office given his behavior.
You filed impeachment based on dastardly deeds.
Yeah, not his humanity. I respect that.
Chris.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand. Again, this is a clear example of how the Democrats and their priorities are out of line. Al Green, his district, has a poverty rate of 18.1% compared to the national average of 11.6% and the Texas state average of 14.2%. So the poverty rate in his district is significantly higher than the poverty rate of the nation as a whole and the state of Texas, but he's concerned about impeaching President Trump instead of being concerned about why is it that your people are living in poverty? Why is it that almost 1 out of 5 of your constituents living in poverty? Why are you not concerned about that? Your concern is about the president, who is going to help your constituents, by the way, right? He's going to do a lot more for your constituents than you're going to do. Why is your main priority on impeachment instead of helping your own constituents? Again, that's the problem with the Democrats. This is exactly what I'm talking about. He's more focused on being Trump deranged than helping his own people. If he actually helped his own people, maybe their party wouldn't be in the tank. Maybe the Democrats wouldn't be so unpopular if they actually put the American people first. But no, instead, they put the illegal immigrants first.
Holy moly. We got another $20 Rumble rant from the tonight's spring sponsor, Anunnaki the One. $20. Who the F is this douchebag? Looks like Abdullah been hit with a slipper sideways. Trump is your daddy. Yeah, that's Al Green. He's just another one of those people who shouldn't be in office, but is. and he is just a distraction, a person that is there to destabilize, distract. I don't know what he's thinking, man. I don't know what he's thinking. But man, oh man, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, and thank you so much. Rumble Rant, and thank you so much for sponsoring tonight's stream, man. You are rocking and rolling, dude. And let's send her down.
Oh my!
I really need to make a Rumble Rant one now. You're giving me a reason to make a Rumble Rant. Thank you, video. There you go. That's who that is. Al Green. God bless. Vote him out, Texas. Vote him out.
They put everybody else first, all these other countries. This is what they're complaining about. Democrats really think a winning strategy is for them to complain about stopping foreign aid, about cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse out of the government. They really think that this is a winning strategy, that the American people are going to side with them to continue to waste their taxpayer dollars in the form of fraudulent foreign aid.
A Reuters Ipsos poll that was done right after the USAID news broke found that 56% of people would like to see all foreign assistance programs suspended, which is leading a lot of people to say that the Democrats have picked a very weird hill to die on.
That's because there's no other hill to die on, because President Trump continues to deliver on the promises that he made to the American people on the campaign trail, and going through the federal government line by line and making this government more efficient is one of those priorities and one of those promises that President Trump made. And as you just cited, John, 56% of Americans support freezing foreign aid. And I read a fascinating article in the Washington Post today. They interviewed voters in Pennsylvania, and all of them said that they support President Trump and Elon Musk's efforts to make this government more efficient. What President Trump and Elon Musk and this entire administration is trying to do is make our bloated bureaucracy here in Washington run like a profitable business. And every agency has been tasked with going line by line and ensuring that the American taxpayers' money is aligned with the American people's interests. It's a common sense solution to fixing a decades-old problem of bloated bureaucracy, waste, fraud, and abuse. And the vast majority of Americans support it. So the Democrats can hoot and holler all they want. This White House will stay committed to delivering on President Trump's priorities and being good stewards of the hardworking American people's tax dollars.
Boom. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Once again, Democrats find themselves on the losing end of a battle that they're deciding to fight simply because of Trump derangement. And that's what tanked them. That's what tanked them in the last election. Relentless Trump derangement is a road to nowhere for the Democrats. I don't understand why is it that this is such a hard concept for them to grasp.
They got nowhere else to go.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
They got nowhere else to go.
The Democrats need to be a centrist party. And one of the reasons why I'm saying this is because
they can't do it.
It's actually a good thing for the country if the Democrats are not so extreme, right? That's why I talk about this, right? I'm just like, no. We need to pull the Democrat Party to the right, okay? That is good for the country to pull them to the right. You want both parties, both major parties in the country to be sane parties, okay? That way we can agree.
Who could trust them if they did? They've already, they just need to go away. Is what it is.
Reasonable
or just be there as the bad example of what you don't want to be.
Okay. And that's what you want. But right now, we still have a significant portion of lunatics in this country, right? Probably at least a third.
They're going to age out.
Yeah, they're not reasonable. Okay. Now, when it comes
to take a long time.
Some of these social issues, right?
So get ready for
it is changing. Ride. It is changing. We are, in fact, winning. So who knows? I guess maybe you could argue that if the Democrats continue to go down this path of Trump derangement and
that's
race
a great way to end
and identity politics and divisiveness, is ultimately going to lead to nowhere. And conservatives, Republicans are just going to get stronger. We're just going to get stronger. And I'm cool with that too, right? I'm cool with that as well. In fact, it's probably my preferred outcome. Okay. Just complete and total irrelevancy for the Democrat Party. Again, if they're going to choose to be as far left as they are right now. Okay? As Trump as they are right now, they're going to choose to just simply be an unreasonable party, a party that's against common sense. Then maybe the best thing for them is to essentially become irrelevant,
party,
and just allow Republicans and conservatives
to
have 75% of the country. Okay, maybe that's the preferred outcome. Let me know what
maybe
you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
And parties
share a Black Conservative Perspective.
Peace. All right. Thank you, Greg. Awesome report. Great way to end the night, guys. And almost certainly back tomorrow night. I got plenty more to cover, and I want to be able to cover that. Going to Jeff Alstrup's, one of the best root cause analysts out there on the web right now, out here in the stream world. Got a great channel. I want to go through his analysis of the DC, the airliner Black Hawk crash, and I want to also talk to you about what's going on in South Africa and then what that means down there. Taking a look at some of the things we've actually talked about before in the past. Trump's calling it out. We're going to see some action down there for something, but right now it's a very dangerous and very racist situation. So when you guys see this tomorrow night, you're gonna be like, "What the?" And it'll be a short show, so you can get on with your Friday nights and all that stuff. So we'll do like a 2-hour show tomorrow night, and I'll just hit a couple topics. I also want to take a look at the border, which I haven't been able to get to. So much going on, I forgot about the damn border. But things are going so well there. We got to check it on the border. So tomorrow night, the border. Tomorrow night, the Black Hawk airliner expert analysis from Jeff Alstrup, as well as what's going on in South Africa. You can count on that and more. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Special shout out to Rumble tonight that rocked the house. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. Holy cow. Anunnaki the One. Trump looks like Santa Claus there, surrounded by them beautiful, pure spirits of children. He is about to grant them the biggest protection ever. Absolutely. And we were talking about at the beginning of the show that you couldn't trust Biden in a room like that. You couldn't trust him in a room like that. One more time for tonight's stream sponsor. Thank you for another $20 Rumble rant. You are rocking and rolling, dude. And let's do You may have set the record over there. I believe now you definitely set the record on Rumble tonight, my friend. Thank you so much. Kim swinging in here like Tarzan on a vine. Man, that is amazing. Thank you so much for the support, man. I really do appreciate it, especially right now. It's amazing, dude. I really appreciate it, man. And thank you so much for being here, man. I hope to see you around a lot. And I will be back again tomorrow night, 7:30. So eventually at 7. I'll try to be here by 7, if not 7:30, but 7. Perhaps 7:30. We'll see how it goes. One or the other for one more edition of Winning Tonight this week. And then we'll be off for the weekend. But yeah, you know what's going to come up tomorrow night. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Big shout out to Anunnaki the One over on Rumble for making Rumble light up tonight. Rumble on fire tonight. And everybody here on the YouTube side in the crowd. There is the T-Rex trucking you more. Everybody over here is thanking you as well. Thank you for being here, each and every one of you guys. You made it happen. And I will see you soon. And until that time, stay based and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
This is a friendship that'll never